Welcome back, True Seeker. As anticipated, Boston, the 617 area code, has won their second consecutive finals on June 17th, 617, a lot like the area code. And they've won their 18th championship, winning it by 18 points. Jerry West didn't have to live to see it. The man who went 1-8 in NBA championship series, 0-6 versus the Celtics, 1-2 versus the Knicks. Again, Jerry West, who went to the same college as Missoula, the coach of the Celtics, they both went to West Virginia, and Jerry West died 18 days before Missoula's birthday. A lot of 18 rituals that we've been documenting in the time of these playoffs, these finals. They've been going crazy with it in baseball. Today in baseball, we had a little three-team parlay with the Celtics winning tonight. The Mets. Hold on. I'll just share what we wrote down earlier today. So again, if you're on the Patreon, you get the information every morning. There is a potential MLB and NBA tribute to the number 18 tonight. Of course, baseball is that Gematria 18. If Red Sox win, Blue Jays will stay on 18 home wins. And if Mets win, Rangers will get 18th home loss. Again, Boston, like the Celtics, and the Rangers play right next to where the Mavericks do. But all these things happened tonight. The Red Sox did win. The Blue Jays stayed on 18 home wins, and the Mets did win, giving the Rangers their 18th home loss. All these 18s tonight, again, as the Celtics pick up the 18th championship. And again, before this season began, we said the most likely team to win the championship this year was the Boston Celtics, the only team in the league whose full name equaled 78. And we said why this could be the year to get the 18th championship, while Jordan, who had a shot at baseball, but while Jordan's 61 years old, 61 is the 18th prime number. Lots of 18. And again, the Boston Yankees series that just concluded yesterday with Sunday Night Baseball. Boston lost game one to the Yankees 1-8, almost like 18. And then by the end of the series, Boston had outscored the Yankees 18-15. That was on the eve of the Celtics winning their 18th championship. Last night, Yankees got beat down 3-9, New York in 39. But again, for the entire series, the Red Sox outscored the Yankees 18-15, despite getting beat 1-8 in the first game. 33 runs as well, like NBA Finals 33, like Massachusetts 33. Also, like how the only day of the week is Sunday. That series finished up on a Sunday. But there's so many things to hit here in the rig. And again, one of the most important ones is how they continually sync up sports with politics. Joe Biden, Secret Service name Celtic. I want to go back to this old post from the day that John Havlicek died, and then I want to show you the big parallel with tonight's game. How the same thing we were talking about when John Havlicek died on the day that Joe Biden announced he was running for president, when Joe Biden's Secret Service name is Celtic. I want you to see how exactly what we talked about that night is so true tonight. And again, just go back, John Havlicek, number 17, died 17 days after his birthday. And it was while the Celtics were still on 17 championships, and of course, NBA 17, and Joe Biden's Secret Service name is Celtic, and Joe Biden was born on RFK's 17th birthday, the same RFK who died the year the Celtics won the championship in 68, who's from Massachusetts like his brother JFK. And again, this year, the finals began on the anniversary of RFK's death. But look at this. Joe Biden's birthday, November 20th, to John Havlicek's death was 156 days later. Boston Celtics equates to 156. For the record, in that same cipher, Robert Kennedy equates to 156. So now here we are in 2024. And notice, from the closeout game in the 617 area code on 6/17 to Biden's upcoming birthday, it'll be his 82nd birthday. This was the 82nd game of the NBA playoffs tonight. The word game equals 82, like the NBA has an 82-game season. But notice, it's 156 days before Joe Biden's birthday. 156. And remember, Joe Biden, number 46. In Gematria, Celtics equal 46. The Celtics came into this series, game one of the finals, with a record of 46-40 versus the Mavs all time. Tonight, they improved to 50 and 41 versus the Mavs. But this was the 82nd game of the playoffs. Remember, game 1 was the 78th on the Celtics' 78th birthday in the 78th season, where Miriam Adelson's took over the Mavericks at age 78, and her husband Sheldon Adelson's from Boston. And like we talked about earlier, Boston Celtics also equates to 48. The finals end 48 days before Sheldon Adelson's birthday anniversary, which is the 4th day of the 8th month. He's got the same birthday as Obama, August 4th. But there's just so many layers to the script. And again, one of the big headlines today in the national news was this international athlete about to compete in the Olympics who was born in the U.S., who dies at age 18. And he was going to represent Tonga. Again, an area made up of 171 islands when 171 is the 18th triangular number. Just like how Jerry Allen West died at 86. Again, Celtics beat a Texas team in 86, the year Len Bias got 86 after getting drafted by the Celtics. We talked about that in a big way the day that Jerry West died. But again, the 86 finals, that was the year they began using the term NBA Finals. Celtics beat Houston. Now, Jerry West, the face of the league. Don't forget, you guys, NBA equals 17. The Lakers and Celtics were tied at 17. Jerry West, the logo of the league, died on 17 date numerology, the day of the Celtics' 17th playoff game for the year. And remember, they went on to win that game because he died before game 3, and the Celtics improved to 15-2 for the playoffs. This series began 152 days before the election, which falls on Bill Walton's birthday, who again died at 71, the day the Celtics advanced to the finals when Celtics equals 71. And again, game 1 was on Luke Walton's 71st day of his age, Bill Walton's son. But look at Tatum. Again, this thing was so scripted with Tatum. Tatum's 26 years old. Celtics, the small ways, 26. He came into the finals with 2,600 points scored. Tonight, the Celtics win with 106 points. What 106's relationship with 78 is that prime numbers are numbers that can only be divided by one in themselves. Numbers that are not prime are composite numbers. 106 is not a prime number. It's the 78th composite number. Remember, the Celtics scored 106 the day that Jerry West died. The Celtics scored 107 in game 1, 105 in game 2, 106 in game 3. So they literally averaged 106 points a game through the first 3 games. In 4 out of the 5 games, the score average was 106. Composite number, 78 for the 78th season. For the only team in the league whose full name equals 78, the Boston Celtics. That's why we had them ranked number 1 this year, preseason. But, just, again, 18-point win. Just like in game 1, they had an 18-point win. And in light of the whole political thing, Trump, 88. But hold on, the 106 tonight, look at Jason Tatum, you guys. I said earlier, today was the 107th day of his age. That's true. But it's also 106 days after his birthday. Jason Tatum, born March 3rd, born on 3/3. By the way, Jason Tatum equals 33, like Massachusetts, like NBA Finals. But notice, 106 days after his birthday, his team wins it with 106. A number connected to 78 mathematically. Rituals and numbers, again, all the American sports credited to Masons. Masons etch on the temple, all his number. Masonry is based in Kabbalah, which is based in the Torah. The 4th book of the Torah, 4th book of the Bible as well, is titled Numbers. Again, the ritual sacrificing, the rigging every year. I can't remember all the deaths in the finals, but again, Bill Walton, most obvious, the day the Celtics advanced. Then Drew Gordon days later, dead at 33 in the 33rd state, Oregon, where Bill Walton won the championship for the Blazers, their only championship. Then Chet Walker dead. Chet Walker, here, they put up this stat, you guys, because we were making a huge focus on 107 before a single game was played in these finals about the significance of 107. I saw they put up this after the game. Today was 106 days after Tatum's birthday, or his 107th day of his age. They had to put up this stat about him and Jaylen Brown, how they've played in 107 playoff games. It says most ever by teammates prior to winning first NBA title. Remember, Celtics came into this series plus 107 in points scored against the Mavs all time. They won game one with 107 points. These finals were set on May 30th, one day after JFK's 107th birthday anniversary, when JFK's full name, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, equates to 107, just like the word shooting. And again, the finals also started on RFK's death anniversary, both Kennedys dead in shootings. The name Kennedy equates to 78. Again, they had to fudge game 4 so that it would be on Trump's 78th birthday. Biden took office when he was 78. 78 is an important number. Jesuit equals 78. That's who's running the scripts. And it's undeniable they are, because remember, Bill Russell. Remember what they did to Bill Russell. He went to Jesuit, San Francisco University, and he died right after the San Francisco Warriors. Yeah, I know they're Golden State, but they play in San Francisco now. He died right after the Warriors beat Boston. And, of course, Bill Russell played for Boston, but he died on the last day of the Jesuit Ignatian year, July 31st, 2022. 31's the 11th prime. He had 11 championships. Bill Russell, from his death to Bill Walton's death, exactly 666 days later. 666. Again, the number of the beast, a lot of beast rituals in basketball. Again, Kobe's career high, 81 points in his 666th game. Don't forget, Mark of the Beast equals 81, like Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe with the 666 workout. So many 666 rituals with LeBron over the years. LeBron James has the same gematria as number of the beast, which is 66. The first year LeBron won the finals, they had to make the season 66 games. Like pro basketball was born on June 6th. I didn't even look at the box score, but I'm just curious. I got to look in real time what they did with the box score tonight. Look at that. The Dallas starters, you guys added up. 4 points, 10 points. That's 14. 6 more is 20. 15 more is 35. 28 more is 63. They had to have Dallas score 63 points. Again, JFK from Massachusetts, dead in Dallas in 63. Number 35, dead on I-35. Like Kyrie scoring 35 in the first game in Dallas and then getting his 63rd playoff win in game 2. Like Porzingis putting the Celtics up 63-35 in game 1 as the Celtics go to halftime with 63 points in that game. Just nonstop tributes and rituals. So Dallas's starters only had 63 points in this game. You know, they were just so unstoppable in game 4. They had to win by 38. Like Porzingis missed 38 games before his game 1 return. Remember when JFK was announced dead in Dallas, Walter Cronkite came on the news and said, some 38 minutes ago, JFK passed at approximately 1 p.m. Dallas time. 1 p.m. Dallas time is 1300 military time. And as we know, Dallas is the 13th city. Dallas equals 13 forwards, 41 in reverse. They stayed on 13 playoff wins. Boston just picked up the 41st win 41st championship for the East, winning 4-1. And keep in mind, Joe Biden's birthday is November 20th, the day leaving 41 days left in the air. And again, USA equals 41. The Jesuit suppression lasted 41 years. The United States of America was formed in the time of the Jesuit suppression. I see they had Kyrie play 41 minutes, the former Celtic. But, okay, so Mavericks starters only put up 63. Look at that. They took 78. Oh, my God. They went 35 for 78 from the field, man. I mean, just huge number rituals over and over. In 68, when RFK was assassinated, he died 35 days. He died on the Celtics' birthday, first of all, but that was 35 days after the Celtics won the finals. You had this ritual with Hunter Biden born on the 35th day of the year. Remember, Catholic equals 35 forwards, 46 in reverse. JFK, number 35, killed on I-35 at age 46. Joe Biden, the nation's second Catholic president. Kennedy was the first. Elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, inaugurated on the Pope's 35th day of his age. Lost his son, Beau Biden, at 46. Hunter Biden, born on the 35th day of the year. Going down in a character assassination ritual. Right after the ritual they do with Trump. Again, just all these scripted news stories, sports distraction, divisive political theater. Learn the code, see through it all. 35-78, shooting 44-point-something% from the field like JFK, the 44th term president. Mavericks' 44th season. All right, the Celtics. Tatum had 31 tonight. Horford had 9. That's 40 points. Holiday had 15. That's 55. D. White added 14. That's 69. Jaylen Brown chipped in 21 for 90. And off the top of my head, honestly, the it's not jumping out to me the significance of the 90 right now in terms of this series and the encoding. But the bench had 16 points, and it's 16 years to the day since they won their last championship. And the last championship they won before that was 86, in light of what they did to Jerry West. Don't forget, in Gematria, symbol equals 86, and Jerry West was literally the symbol for the NBA. If you missed the work we did on Jerry West's death, how 18 it was. Again, it was another big indicator, and they just got to rub your face in it. So the Celtics, they make 38 shots tonight over the Mavericks. Remember, Mavericks and finals both equal 38 to go with Porzingis, skipping 38 days before his big game one to get Celtics off and rolling. The 89 shots is interesting because that's the 24th prime. We've seen a lot of that number in championships this year. Again, Harbaugh got his 89th win with Michigan. Again, 89 is the 24th prime. It's 2024. Mahomes got his 89th career win, winning the Super Bowl. Again, 89, the 24th prime. Missouri, the 24th state in order of statehood. Chiefs got their 24th playoff win, winning the Super Bowl. Celtics got their 41st win the day of the Super Bowl, and Tatum's from Missouri. Super Bowl equals 41. Mahomes got his 41st career postseason passing touchdown, winning that game. And remember, he got his 41st career road win in Baltimore to advance to the Super Bowl, Mahomes. And Mahomes' whole thing got rolling the week after Kobe died at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age, traveling from Catholic Mass. There's so many things that are interesting here about their stats, but yeah, just some hallmark numbers, and again, just to go through the series too. Hold on, let's get a different screenshot so we can see all the games at once here. Celtics box scores. All right, let's go back to game one. All right, game one. Celtics 107, Mavericks 89. 18-point win. Before the game was played, we were making the big point about the Celtics coming in plus 107 in these finals being set the day after the 107th birthday anniversary of JFK. You know, today we were looking at all the stuff for Boston, including it being the 107th day of Tatum's age. And then they got to throw this stat up on the screen at the end of the game, you know? Scripted sports, scripted history. Who's controlling his story should be obvious. We made it plain as day. The Jesuits. They gave you the language, the calendar. They served the Roman Catholic Church. You know the phrase, all roads lead to Rome. You can't get much more Catholic than Boston in the United States. And again, up on top with that first team to 18. And with regards to those Jesuits, don't forget how important 18 is. Well, their acronym, IHS. If you know the Jesuit logo, look it up. IHS. That gematria of IHS is 18 forwards and backwards. 18 both ways. Again, Jerry West died 18 days before Missoula's 36th birthday. IHS also 36. Tatum picked up his 45th playoff loss on Trump's birthday, stayed on 45 playoff losses. You see all the IHS numbers up here? They got it all structured around Tatum, their most marketed player. And we see this year after year at the championships. The guys who get the most marketing have the biggest scripts around them. Mahomes is literally winning the Super Bowl. Remember, that was the 103rd NFL season, you guys, when Mahomes won the Super Bowl in State Farm Arena, and he came into that game 10-3 in the playoffs. You know, he exited that game 11-3 after beating the Eagles. Eagles won 1-3. Eagles play in Lincoln Financial. That was the first Super Bowl on Lincoln's birthday, who freed the slaves. First Super Bowl between two black quarterbacks. Anyway. Okay, coming back. So game one, symbolic score, 18 points. Celtics en route to 18th championship, just like how we covered it. The next game, again, by the Celtics winning with 105, now their average score was 106, and 106 is the 78th composite number, going with all the 78s. Again, game one was on the Celtics' 78th birthday, 78th game of the playoffs. Again, the 77th game set the finals with Luka number 77, while Trump was still 77 years old. Boston equals 77 like Walton. Not an arbitrary number is 77 either. But anyway, huge ritual with the finals being set. Game one. Mavericks went down with 98 points in that game. National Basketball Association's 98. Again, if you guys have been here from the beginning, the first ever basketball future we put out there was for the Warriors and the Cavs to meet for the first time ever. And it was a ritual that happened 98 days before game one of the finals. I was explaining how National Basketball Association equals 98, like chosen one, what's on LeBron's back. And go back and look. The first time the Warriors and Cavs ever met in the finals, game one went to overtime, 98-98. National Basketball Association. So just symbolic scores. Again, Celtics by scoring 106 in game three. If you watch the stream we did before that, shout out to the caller from Cleveland. He called in and said, I think there's something up with this 106 in this series. It being the 78th composite number. And he was right on because it ended up being the final score that night. But at that point, Boston was up plus 32 in scoring. Boston does have that gematria of 32. Then they got beat down in game four, 84 to 122, 38-point difference, like finals and Mavericks is 38. So that made the Mavericks actually positive in the scoring. The Mavericks became plus 6 in scoring for the series. I don't necessarily know what to say about that, why they did that way. To think more about that one. But then the Celtics come back and win by plus 18, which makes them plus 12 in scoring for the series because they were down -6 after the last game. Now they're plus 12. You know where 12 fits in? If you add 1 through 12 together, it equals 78 to complete the 78th NBA season. And again, the only team in the whole league whose full name equals 78, Boston Celtics, which is why we put them at the very top at the beginning of this year to be the team. And all year we were looking at, again, Jordan turning 61. If there was ever a year to get the 18th championship this year, 61 the 18th prime. And again, what do they got to do to you the day of the finals after all these deaths? Again, Chet Walker dead 107 days after his birthday after game one. His rookie season finished in 63, the year JFK was smoked. All these ritualistic deaths. Pistol Pete's son dead. They're paying tribute to shootings. Now, Pistol Pete's son is dead 44 years after Pistol Pete finished his career at the Celtics, plus everything else there was to that. On and on, all these deaths. But then today, they got to tell you about this young 18-year-old man, J.J. Rice, who was going to compete in the Olympics, who was born in the U.S. but was representing this Tonga thing. Again, we did this stream before the games got started, how 18 it was. Because, again, Tonga's 171 islands. That's the 18th triangular number. He's dead at 18. We just talked about this with the death of Jerry Allen West, whose name has the 171 connection. He didn't have to see his Lakers fall behind the Celtics again. Again, the guy who went 1-8 in championships is dead in this series that is all about 18. The young man who's died, his sport was kite foiler, form of rowing. But kite foiler, 61, the 18th prime number, you know. And again, like we said, Tongan, he's a Tongan, 71-26 like Celtics. Again, Bill Walton dead at 71 the day the Celtics advanced. He was part of that perfect UCLA team in 71. UCLA is another big 71, just like Celtics. But small way, 26, Cancer 26, Celtics 26, Pacers 26, all in the same cipher. Rick Carlisle, again, who played for the Celtics. He fell to 26-26 in the playoffs with the Pacers, and he stayed on 71 all-time playoff wins. And again, all these things are easy to verify. Just come type in Rick Carlisle. You can check him out as a player. You can see how he played on the Celtics. But as a coach, again, just scroll down. Rick Carlisle, This is his playoff record over here, 71-79 in the playoffs. It's funny that he has 150 playoff games too, because Dallas Mavericks is 150. Remember, Miriam Adelson bought the Mavericks 150 weeks after Sheldon Adelson died. But again, stayed on 71 wins, and with the Pacers became 26-26. He's coached 52 games with Indiana in the playoffs when Indiana equals 52. And look, Dallas's old team too. Dallas's old team. He coached 71 playoff games with Dallas, and notice how he was 33-38 with Dallas in the finals. Again, 38 was big in this. When JFK was announced dead, it was some 38 minutes ago. Finals is 38. Mavericks only win. Again, Mavericks also 38. And remember what happened right at the start of this basketball season. There was a big focus on Indiana because Bob Knight died right at the start of the season. And Larry Bird from Indiana. Speaking of which, you saw the half-court shot tonight, right? The Celtics were up 18, and then they hit the half-court shot to go up 67-46 at halftime. Keep in mind, that's 113 points, like the National Basketball Association's 113, like the number 617, the Boston area code, similar to today. 617 is the 113th prime. But, oh, snap. What was I going to type in? Shoot, I forgot what stat I was going to put up. Here, I forgot that, but here, I'll just throw up another one. Dirk Nowitzki. In light of this thing being synced up with Trump number 45, notice this was the last game while Dirk's 45 years old. Dirk, who won it for Dallas 13 years ago, wearing number 41, the 13th prime. Last game while 45. Tatum on 45 postseason losses. Got his 45th loss on number 45's birthday. And don't forget how perfect that ritual was. Again, President Donald Trump equals 248. It was the Mavericks' 248th playoff game all time. It was 248 days after Miriam Adelson's birthday. And again, the Adelson family are Trump's biggest financial supporters of all time. They bankrolled his 2015-2016 election. They own casinos. They're big supporters of Israel. But you know what's wicked, you guys? You see how Dirk was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks? He was traded for Tractor Trailer. And we were talking about this earlier today in our live stream. I can think of his nickname. I can't think of his real name right now. Robert Trailer. That's Tractor Trailer. But Robert Trailer, you see when he died, you guys, May 11th, 2011, the guy who was traded for Dirk Nowitzki, who won the championship for Dallas, just happened to die during those NBA playoffs right before Dallas won it. You think that was an accident? You know? Here, let's go back and look at the 2011 finals. Let's see exactly how many days it was after his passing that the Mavericks won their championship. Just ritual sacrifice. It's always been here. People just been overlooking it. But those finals ended on June 12th, so they ended on number 41's birthday. George Herbert Walker Bush, like last year, Jokic, the 41st pick, won the finals 4-1 on number 41's birthday. Normally we just dominate on Bush's birthday because the rituals are so obvious and 41 hits so hard, but they did burn us this year in the playoffs. Dallas could have got their 41st win all time against the Celtics on number 41's birthday, and they didn't. And it would have also been their 118th playoff win, and George Herbert Walker Bush equals 118. Always big numbers with the Bush rituals. It was really weird that they didn't do that this year. I really do think that they flipped that game on us because, again, I mean, there are untold numbers of people in this world who are aware of the rig and taking advantage of this financially with the gambling and have been for years. And a lot of people in our community, you know, they got burned in that playoff game by the 41 not coming through, but that's never really happened before. I'm convinced that they flipped that game around. It's in a way, it's like almost, it's totally unreal that they didn't do that in light of the history of what they do on number 41's birthday. But yeah, think about it. Number 41, Dirk, playing down in Texas, now where Bush is buried, wins it on his birthday, June 12th. Go figure. If Tractor Trailer died May 11th, that means he died 32 days before the game, or a span of 33 days. And the span goes with his name, Robert, which is 33. Robert's 78 and 33, actually, just like NBA Finals. It's like when Jordan won his third chip, his dad died 33 days later. Again, what they did to Bill Walton, and then days later, Drew Gordon dead at 33 in the 33rd state. Bill Walton, again, who won that only championship for Oregon. That was the 76-77 season, and they did it over the 76ers. Walton, you see how Walton's got the 77? Walton's the exact same in all four ciphers as Boston, 85, 22, 77, 32. And you know what? There's probably something to that as well, because all these years later, the parallels. I didn't know Gematria in 2011. But again, you can take this knowledge and look back and see that the same things have been going on for a long time. So, yeah, Celtics finished plus 12 in scoring for the series, 78, the 12th triangular number, just one more tribute to the numbers. And shout out to Mike Rosslin, said, thank you, Zach, for everything you do. Smash the like button, help Zach out. I appreciate that. So, anyhow, let me drop the link. Let me drop the link. Like I said, I'm serious. If somebody can come on here tonight and like, I will pay the money. I'm good for the money. Seriously, if you want to win $1,000 tonight from yours truly, come on here and bring a real argument. And because I won't continue to just go on year after year and continue to call sports futures and expose all this if I'm wrong. Come on here and tell me either where I'm lying or these games aren't rigged and all this is a coincidence, and explain it logically and sound a fraction as convincing as I do. Again, the reason I sound convincing is because I'm correct, but prove that I'm not. And again, come on and tell me where we didn't just nail another NBA future, because I was very clear at the beginning of this year. Only one team with the full 78 connection, Celtics, and this could be the year that would make more sense than ever to get the 18th championship while Jordan's 61. Exactly what was done. And again, day after day, you use this knowledge, you can take advantage of the rig. Just like we said right here. Potential 18 tribute tonight with the Red Sox keeping the Blue Jays on 18 home wins and the Mets beating the Rangers, who play next to where the Mavs do back in Texas, to give the Rangers their 18th home loss. That's exactly what went down tonight. Red Sox keep the Blue Jays on 18 wins, and Mets beat the Rangers to give them the 18th home loss. There's probably something about the 16 runs in that game, too, in light of the Celtics winning the championship 16 years to the day. And Boston beating the Blue Jays 3-7. Joe Biden does have that gematria 37. 37 is the 12th prime. 78 is the 12th triangular number. Might be a little math wizardry there, but let's bring on Open Up first, and then we got Niall. I'm glad to see Niall on there. Hey, what's up, Open Up?
Yeah, what's up, Zach? I just want to say a shout out to you, bringing up 3 teams before the season even started. That being the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Cavaliers, who all had that 78 connection somewhere. But
Here, just so people understand, again, there are 3 teams in the whole league out of 30 that have a 78 connection, but only one with the full name. Boston Celtics 78, Cleveland 78, New York 78, but only one full team name, and Celtics with the narrative for 18. Go ahead, friend.
Yeah, and I think this year, I mean, we see it every year with all sports, NFL, baseball, basketball, NBA. I think this year, as you mentioned earlier, maybe a couple weeks ago, we probably had the biggest amount of deaths when it comes to star power, like in the shortest amount of time. Because we had Jerry West, we had like you mentioned, Drew Gordon, we had Chet Walker, we had Josh Maravich, and who was the last one? Bill Walton. So all
Well,
those.
there was even more than that. It was like
Yeah.
that Boston figure skating coach died at 85 when Boston and basketball are 85. You know, that wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
He coached Michelle Kwan, who has the 7-7 birthday, another big number in this series. Again, you'll see a lot of basketball deaths, but it's even like the 18-year-old they took out who was going to be in the Olympics. Again, you guys, if you missed the longer decode on the death of the 18-year-old, I mean, this is why people need to wake up. All you guys who went to the stadium tonight and gave money to this rig thing, you're ensuring that the JJ Rices of the world will continue to be sacrificed for these rig games. Look, there's so many numbers on this JJ Rice thing, but again, just the 41 tonight. Joe Biden born on the day, leaving 41 days left in the year. Joe Celtic Biden. Mavs win or Mavs lose the series to Boston. Boston goes 4-1 to get the 41st championship. And you got the death of this young man at 18, 41 days before the Olympics were going to begin. And this stuff's just clockwork. And we've been showing for years how the Olympics are rigged too. It's all one big rig show. Dallas finishes on 118 wins in the playoffs. Celtics and Dallas, Texas 118. What day did the Olympics end? 11/8. Plenty of 118 rituals over the years on that date. And, you know, this is a early indicator that there will be more. But again, just ritual sacrifice from within the sports and from the world of entertainment and athletics year after year. Sorry, go ahead, friend.
No, you're good. One thing I wanted to bring up was, I don't know if you want to pull it up, but if you look at Jason Kidd in his career as a player, and you go to his playoff games played, every number of games played has a connection to this year. I think he played 12.
Look at that. The final, we talked about this earlier. It's 86 days after Kyrie and Kidd's birthday. They have the same birthday. Again, just the finals coined in 86. What happened in 1986? There's a lot going on with Jason Kidd, but okay, I'm going to his player. You said the teams he played for?
The number of games, playoff games played for each team that he played for.
Okay.
So you got the 78, you got the 46 JFK connection, 22 Boston connection, and then 12 connects with 78. So all of those have a connection. And then previously mentioned in another stream, I mean, Jason Kidd is JFK. Look at his name.
Yeah.
So just another joke.
And again, another joke. Jason Kidd is on 353 total wins for his career as a coach. That's the 71st prime, like Celtics is 71. Again, it all started with Bill Walton dead at 71 the day they advanced. Look at how many days after Joe Mazzulla's birthday it is that he wins the championship. It's 353 days after Joe Mazzulla's birthday as Jason Kidd stays on 353 wins. I mean, again, how could it be any more scripted? And you think about how they're just using and recycling a small group of people, men who've been in the league, and then men who've been in the league, they either get assigned as the next coaches or the next commentators. You see how it's a small fraternity of people keeping the lies all together. All these guys now that wear suits that treat the games like they're real, they're not real. And they're the same guys who every time someone dies, they're like, oh, man, he was a really great guy. But then they never introduce the idea of, like, doesn't it seem weird that we're always talking about dead former players whenever a championship rolls around? All of these people are sellouts to humanity. And all of you guys who can't see through it, I don't know. You're part of what's wrong with humanity. And you know, there's a scumbag on tonight doing a live stream trying to downplay my work. I can pull up the video from him of a year and a half ago winning several $1,000s off using my knowledge to take advantage of rig sports. Again, there's so many goons out there trying to talk bad about this work. Like he literally said tonight that this work doesn't mean anything. It's a waste of time and nobody's scripting anything. This man the other year was following me out to Oklahoma City, New York, uploading videos about how much he won off the Jags rig comeback in the playoffs the other year using our knowledge. Again, you guys, just the only people in the world that aren't behind this work are either one of two things. They're either just really stupid or there's some kind of shills and opposition that are help covering up for what we've been exposing for over a decade. I'll be quiet again. Go ahead, friend.
No, you're good. Another thing about Mazzulla, when the Celtics made the finals, they mentioned that he's the youngest ever to make the finals since, guess who? Bill Russell, 55 years prior. And we know that Mazzulla is 35, so it has the 55-35 Satan connection there. And then we know Bill Walton, as you mentioned, died 666 days after Bill Russell.
And with regards to that 666 thing, let's not forget that when LeBron went to 6 straight finals, LeBron became the first player since Bill Russell to go to 6 straight finals. And the ESPN story when that happened was the last time it happened was in 66. So they were doing 666 stuff with Bill Russell way back in the day, only for him to end up dying in this very evil Jesuit ritual 666 days before Bill Walton. If I didn't say Bill Russell a minute ago, it was Bill Russell who went to 6 straight finals in 66 and who died 666 days before Bill Walton.
Yep. And my last thing I want to say is, like, for anyone who's new here who thinks, like, this is just fake or this is a one-time coincidence. I mean, it would be a pretty big coincidence if this only happened once. But I've only been here for like 3 years, and I mean, he's been showing this every single day, and he's been doing it for longer than I've been here. He's been here over 10 years showing this. So it only took me one video to be on board, knowing that this stuff is all sick ritual that happens every day. And it's not just sports, or it's not even just NBA. It's all the sports, it's news, it's politics, pretty much anything you see in the mainstream media, is it's encoded in some way, propaganda, fear porn, if you want. But yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate you, Zach, and appreciate your information, your Patreon, at a low price of what, $5 or $11 for all this information every single day, even on the weekends. I mean, this is pretty priceless. And I know you always mention, like, I've only been here 3 years, and you say this stuff has been a lot more potent back in the day. But I mean, you don't have to bet on everything. If you see something like this where the 18s are stacked up everywhere, I mean, you could put a little bit of money on it. You never bet the house, but there's stuff that comes along that you can feel more confident in putting a little bit more money on. But yeah, I appreciate everything you did, Zach.
Well, keep up the great work. I'm glad you came into the community. You've been an excellent contributor. And thanks for calling in tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
All right, you too. All right, we got another great member of the community on. So we're hitting off with two of my favorite people that help
Appreciate
add
it.
to the work. And what do you got tonight, Niall?
I'm good. Thanks, man. Appreciate that introduction. Just a few things. I wanted to catch the stream. It's late over here where I'm at, but wanted to add a few things that I found tonight that I was just, as the game ended up typing in the calculator, a couple of little riddles that I stumbled on. I kind of wanted to open it up with a question. I was like, is this finals gonna be the symbolic gesture, possibly, of the possible early death of Joe Biden, or the in presidential death of Joe Biden? I was thinking it's interesting because they'll most likely get honored at the White House shortly before the election. So you'll have the Celtics being honored, one of the last teams being honored at the White House at the end of the first Joe Biden term. And as I was thinking about that, I was like, all right, let me do a little number running. So I don't know if you might have mentioned this already in today or in prior streams, but as we know, the Celtics ended the regular season with 64 wins. Joe Biden equals 64. They ended the full season tonight. They got their 80th win of the season. Biden presidency equals 80. So I thought those two things were interesting when we think about the whole Celtic connection with Joe Biden and his Secret Service name being Celtic. Celtics entering the playoffs with 64 wins, ending the playoffs with 80 wins, and those two things being connected in Gematria. Joe Biden 64, Biden presidency 80. Another thing I stumbled on, if you measure the date from Bill Russell's death to tonight, or to the finals game, it's 1 year and 322 days. So I thought that was interesting that the 322 was coded in there. And then what else? Oh yeah, the other portions with, like, the Catholic riddles, the Catholic narratives. Joe Mazzulla, I was looking it up. Joe Mazzulla is a known Catholic. He wears the cross on his shirt basically every game. They always have, you see him with the cross on his shirt. So I thought that was interesting. The two Catholic Joes. You got Joe Biden, the Catholic president. Joe Mazzulla, the Catholic coach. Obviously JFK, the first Catholic president, murdered in Dallas. Then the Celtics win in the last year of the second Catholic president's term. The 46th president, obviously JFK, was murdered at 46. So you have that connection. The Celtics founded in 1946. So those are just a couple of things I was kind of piecing together as the night went on. Just some things I wanted to add. I don't know if those are things that you might have already looked at or talked about, but just also I wanted to get your thought. Like, do you think this might be the final straw, so to speak, of the Biden presidency? Like, is this going to be the time where we see that he might pass away during his actual term?
Sure, he could be the next sacrifice for these rigged finals for the Celtics, and it would be fitting. Again, for people who don't know, before Biden became president, we were explaining over a year in advance why he'd become number 46 in parallel to JFK. John F. Kennedy equals 59. He won the 59th election 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, became the nation's second Catholic president when Catholic equals 46. And JFK was killed at 46. Again, the Celtics came into this series with 46 wins versus the Mavs. Celtics equals 46 like Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
But like sacrifice, like Bo Biden did at 46. Again, Pistol Pete Maravich, when he died all those years ago, he died 46 days after Biden's birthday while Biden was in his 46th year of life. And then what they just did to his son in these finals. But my prediction when Joe Biden took office was that we were going to get Kamala to replace him as the first female president in U.S. history right around June 1st, 2024. Now, what happened instead is Mexico got its first female president, but this isn't an accident because all these nations are connected. Again, there's no real separation between Mexico and the U.S. or the U.S. and Europe. Again, it's a new world order, you guys. And look into the Mexican-American War. It ended on the 33rd day of the year, like masonry equals 33, like secrecy, like order, like federal. Again, these things aren't an accident. If you missed my work on the new the new Jewish woman who's the first female president of Mexico. If you missed my work on that, check that out. Definitely. That was the same day. Remember that her name equals 62. She turned 62 on Freemasonry's birthday. She was elected on 6/2, the same day Larry Allen of Dallas. That was a huge Dallas sacrifice for them to even be in the finals. The Cowboys star, the larger than life lineman whose name equals 62 and who dropped dead on 6/2 in Mexico the day that went down. All these things are connected. But again, right before June 1st, who died? It was Michelle Obama's mom. There's rumors that Michelle could end up either Michelle or Gavin Newsom. If Biden doesn't make it to the election, that could become the nominee. But it's interesting you had Michelle's mom die, and then you get the first female president of Mexico. And realize since this period of time came, I mean, all this crazy stuff happening, the Trump guilty verdict, the Hunter Biden guilty verdict, this finals all synced with Biden connected to all this death. I've been thinking that Biden will not finish this term. We said at the beginning why it should happen while Kamala's 59 years old. And while Biden is 81 years old, that's how old both of them are right now. And again, the other bigger piece about why we thought Biden would not finish the term is because of what President Ford said. Gerald Ford, look it up. He said in the 80s, he was in the Herbert Hoover Library. A little girl asked him how we'll get the first female president. And his answer to the little girl was, well, listen, she's not going to be voted in. She's going to be the vice president. There's going to be an old man who will be president. He'll die. And then we'll get our first female president. Well, look it up. He said that in the Herbert Hoover Library. And the very same day that Herbert Hoover died, October 20th, 64, that's the exact same day that Kamala Harris was born. October 20th, 64, the year of the Civil Rights Act. So, here's what's goofy about Trump being so connected to the Mavericks and them getting their only win on his birthday and Joe Biden being Celtic and the Celtics winning. The Celtics became 18-5 in finals. And we've been talking about how this made so much sense. I was actually surprised at how many people thought this wouldn't happen, but basketball is 185. And again, 185 is a special number for a lot of reasons, but Donald Trump's full name, Donald John Trump, the man born 8 days after the Celtics, he's got the 185 as well. So, Tatum stays on 45 losses in the playoffs. He got his 45th on Trump's birthday. His team becomes 18-5. We've thought since forever that Trump's going to become the latest Grover Cleveland with the split term. So,
did you see anything with the 106? Because I was like, all right, it was 88. The final score,
Yeah,
106.
106. I talked about it. 106 is 78 in terms of composite number relationship. 106 is the 78th composite number.
Okay. Because I was
Here's the
thinking
other.
with black, because I know black is 106. I was like, is there like a narrative with like Trump versus black candidate? And especially we talking about Kamala Harris, something like that. Also like alluding to that, like
Well, here's the other
a
thing
black
to answer your
candidate
question
versus
about
Trump.
Biden, though. The Celtics just got their 83rd win in the finals, and we know that number connects to murder in a big way, but election also equals 83. And remember, I pointed this out for free for everybody. I said I gave you both narratives, but I emphasized what I said. Doesn't it sound just right that the Celtics in their 23rd finals that starts in 2023, the season began in 2023, in their 23rd finals, which this was, doesn't it make sense that they would get their 83rd all-time win in the finals when that's the 23rd prime number? And
They
it's all
ended the
synced up
season with
with
23
election.
losses too. They had 5 losses in the playoffs and 18 coming in within the regular season. So they ended the season with 80-23 for their full
Right.
record, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. And again, before a single game was played, my initial thought when I just looked at it, before I really thought about everything in the days the games were on, I was like, man, if the Celtics start 3-0 in these finals, they're going to be 15-2 in the playoffs. And game one is 152 days before the election. And again, Joe Biden, number 46, the first President's Day when he took office fell on the 46th day of the year, which is 15/2. So again, it is kind of a twisted puzzle how they did it with Celtics and Mavs. And I guess there is still a chance that Biden, I mean, maybe that's another narrative if I'm wrong. If Biden's going to win the election, maybe this is telling us that if that does happen, if Biden somehow wins re-election and as senile as he seems, I don't think he would live past 83. And then we'd get that Gerald Ford prediction. Ford was the 38th president. That's one other thought, but I'm still thinking that this is the term where he exits early. So we'll see.
Oh, another thing I wanted to add was that this finals is definitely foreshadowed in the 2022 finals. I don't know if the listeners out or viewers out there remember one of the big narratives of when it was the Celtics and Warriors in 2022 that I'm sure you remember this, Zach, but the narrative around Tatum with the Kobe armband, the 24, and his infatuation with Kobe. And I just thought, even then, I thought of how funny it was. I was like, they're promoting this whole thing with 24 and Tatum. And I was like, this is probably foreshadowing for the Celtics to win it in 2024. So I think it's interesting how they brought that full circle, subtly brought it full circle with Tatum and his infatuation with Kobe and the 24 armband 2 years ago in the finals. And then fast forward in 2024, now they're finally champions. And then even with Jerry West dying last week and, how Kobe was one of the people that they were considering making the new logo. So, and that happened during the time of the Celtics being returning to the finals. So all those additional connections, they have kind of like resurfaced for me over the last couple of weeks, just doing research and stuff. But I just thought that was fun. I don't know if that was something you thought about as well, but
yeah, again, Celtics won in 08 and now 24. Kobe numbers 8 and 24.
Damn, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant 41.
Mm-hmm.
Dead at 41 and now a 4-1 series.
Yeah, and they literally beat Kobe in their last win was against Kobe.
They beat Kobe in 08, right?
Yeah.
And again, for people don't know, I put out a book about Kobe's scripted career in 41 way before he died. And then in my last book, Number Games, which came out right after he died, we talked a huge chapter on how 41 his career was and how 41 his death was. 41 is no slouch of a number. Again, it's the Jesuits doing this. Their suppression lasted 41 years. This country was formed in the time of their suppression. The Illuminati was also founded in the time of their suppression by a Jesuit right before this. Found 64 days before this country was the Illuminati. May 1st. That's the Mavericks' birthday, too. May 1st. Dallas Mavericks 51. Miriam Adelson took over the team on the 51st day of her age, like conspiracy. And then
the first game in Dallas, the halftime score was 51-50. Mavs were up with 51 points in game 3. The Mavs had 51 points at the half in game 3.
Yeah. Symbolic.
Today, the games ended the first half. The Celtics had 67 points at the end of the half. And at the end of the third, the Mavs had 67 on 67 date numerology. 58 date numerology and 22 date numerology. Boston 22, Boston Celtics 58. Or is it Boston Celtics 58 or the Celtics? One of them is 58. But I was just thinking I was funny. I was just watching. I didn't even watch the game, but I was just checking the scores, and I was like, bro, they got the score lined up with the date numerology. The date numerology lined up with all the Boston words. I don't know. It was just funny, After a while, you just see it, and it's like it's so redundant that it's like I don't know. They don't even hit the same anymore because I'm like, at a certain point, it almost feels too obvious. I'm like, damn, bro, like they almost getting lazy with it. It's like, bro, this shit obvious as hell. Like winning by 18 points in the first game and in the last game. It's just like, bro, like I don't know. At a certain point, it's very redundant, and it almost makes you feel like I feel foolish that other people don't see it this way. I'm like, bro, like they're literally telling us right there, yo. Like they're showing right there. You know what I mean? Like you don't even have to dig super deep. You don't have to scratch. You just scratch the surface. You can see the number riddles right there. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
And
hold
again,
up
as
too
you
much
talk
time.
about that, it just reminds me that the day that Jerry West died, I swear to God, ESPN's First Take was mocking mostly me because
Yeah, I
through
know.
the
I
whole
heard you talking
episode,
about
they just kept
the
saying
pound
the
of
phrase
pavement.
pound pavement. They just
Yeah.
kept saying it over and over. I never heard him say it before. Everyone on the show kept using the phrase pound pavement.
You got to find that clip and post it because I need
It's
to
not
see.
even
I
the clip.
wanted to
Just
see
watch
that.
the whole show. Watch the whole
Yeah,
episode from the day
I'm gonna
Jerry
look
West
for it.
died. Stephen A. Smith is the one who starts. He keeps using it at the beginning, and then the other guests start using it. And at the end, when they're signing off, Molly has to scream out to everybody to pound the pavement. And it's just like, why are they even saying this today? Is it because it's the most obvious, blatant sacrifice in the history of the NBA Finals? And I've been saying for like a decade that people should be out in front of these sports stadiums, educating the fans about the ritual sacrifice. And again, I've been out there plenty of times, but the more I get out and pound pavement, the less my support goes down. I don't know if that's the people or big tech, but yeah, again, we've been out on the streets in front of the stadiums, letting the fans know what's up. The last time was, I guess, we were out there for the All-Star game last year in Seattle, but also for opening day of the Seahawks season, telling them why Matt Stafford was coming to town to get his 94th career win, and 94 lands Seattle exactly what he did. So,
one thing I wanted to add before I go, I didn't get it. I saw a little bit of a video there earlier about the Olympian that passed away, but I don't. I might do my own research, but just something to think about because you said that guy was about to be in the upcoming Olympics. Today was France's first game in the European Cup tournament. So I don't know if there's a connection there with this Olympian who's about to literally be in France for the Olympics dying on the same day, or at least the story being reported on the same day that France played their first game in the Euro. So that might be something to come back to later on for, I don't know, if for anybody following the Euro, that might be a riddle that could connect to France potentially being winners of, they're obviously like high favorites for the cup because they're one of the best teams in all of soccer or whatever worldwide. But I was thinking about that, and I was like, damn, all right, so they had the bull die, who's about to be in Paris in a few weeks for the Olympics on the same day that Paris played their first game. France lost, not Paris, but France rather. They lost today, but I just thought that was interesting that this athlete who's gonna be represented in France died on the same day that France is playing in this major tournament. So that might be something to think about later on or look at later on as well, for you and for anybody else out there that's following.
it's all connected.
But yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I just wanted to get in here and share my findings. Appreciate you.
All right,
Keep
now.
doing the work.
Thanks for being part of the stream. You have a good night.
You too, man. Thanks.
All right, take care. For trolls in the chat who just always write always after the fact, like in what world is that true? Always after the fact. Is it like in preseason when I said the Celtics are the most likely team to win the championship this year? Is that after the fact, before a single game was played? After we've done this many years across all sports leagues, college and pro? What's after the fact? I don't know anything that I'm doing that's after the fact. Well, actually, I'll take that back. I mean, we're decoding deaths that happen all the time. But in terms of sports futures, again, show me anyone in the history of the world who has a resume even close to mine. You can't do it. And again, not only are we calling sports, but we're bringing in the knowledge that shows the definitive proof of the script, the ritual murders. Again, how it's all connected to the rigged elections year after year. Where's your argument? You don't have a real argument. You guys have phony slogans after the fact. It's like, okay, I guess you're just a piece of shit liar. You know? JJMC says no team is ever getting past 17. Well, JJMC, I will say in the past that I've speculated that 17 could be the cap, but you must not have paid attention to anything this year because I've been talking about all year why this would be the fitting year for the Celtics to get their 18th win. Finals equals 61, the 18th prime, while Jordan's 61. So when you write something like that, again, probably a dumb person you are. Again, you have to realize what I'm doing, right? This is ongoing research and understanding. And again, this year we thought the Celtics had a very good shot to win 18. I've been explaining that all year. So when you post something like that, it's just a disingenuous statement, and it makes you look ignorant and stupid. Yeah, when morons come here, low IQs, who are like, "Oh, why can't you call it every time?" Then again, that's just a retard, right? That's a retard thought. It's like, well, okay, because you know every movie is scripted, every play is scripted. You don't even have to watch the movie or the play. You should just know the ending every single time. See, if you weren't a retard, you'd understand that logic. You wouldn't even blurt out something so stupid. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Just because something's scripted doesn't mean you automatically know how it's going to end. See, if you had a brain, I hate when retards come and like, "Oh, Zach missed it, so it must be all bullshit." It's like, well, Zach's hit it 1,000 times in the past. You know, some of the most unlikely things too. So again, retards have shifty logic that doesn't make any sense. Anyone with a brain can see that what we've demonstrated is undeniable. And again, nobody's ever hit anywhere near as many futures as we have, and just in a decade's time too. In a decade's time, just a big long ass list that takes about 10 hours to explain if you have to run through all of it. Here, let's go out to 510. 510.
What up, Zach? Hey, I just had to come on real fast just to say, told y'all, for one, for all the people that was in the chat earlier this morning, for all these crazy narratives, it was 4-1. But then as my next question to you, Zach, since the OG Celtics won and got their 18th, do you think it's possible that the Jesuit Steelers will get their 7th ring this year?
Man, the Russell Wilson comeback story, man. I don't have the Steelers on the radar right now. I just got to tell you that much.
You really think the Chiefs are going to go 3 in a row?
Kobe, the last athlete to three-peat. Again, you know what again, just since he's putting it out there, upcoming 59th season, I only see 3 teams that have a narrative in the AFC. The Chiefs three-peat, Joe Burrow, Billy Cannon tribute again in the same stadium that he beat Clemson with LSU, or the O.J. Simpson Buffalo Bills, because he died 59 days after the Super Bowl, and we got Super Bowl 59 coming. So outside of those 3 teams right now, I don't see anybody else in the AFC being there besides one of those 3 teams. And again, we'll do more research as the season goes on. I know you're a Steelers fan. I honestly haven't looked real hard at the Steelers narrative, but usually it's not like you have to look real hard to see what it is. It's just like almost every year we're like, it's either this team or this team, and we're not wrong very often. Those are the teams with the number connections right now and the historical connections. Joe Burrow connected to New Orleans. The Chiefs, three-peat through Kobe narrative. And again, O.J. Simpson. Like here, since you're a Steelers fan and you're trying to manifest the Steelers Super Bowl, Russell Wilson's in town. What do you even see for the Steelers in the 105th NFL season?
Well, we just got added to the Hard Knocks edition on the first time ever. They're doing the whole AFC North on Hard Knocks. So
how often do teams on Hard Knocks win the Super Bowl? Almost never. I think the only time it ever happened was the first time with the Ravens, right?
Yeah, that was with Ray Lewis. Yeah, I believe so. But this is the first time ever that they're doing a whole division. Like they only do like one team. This time they're like doing the whole division. The AFC North: Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, and Browns. So I don't know. I just have a feeling like they got Russell Wilson, they got Patrick Queen, they just got some key additions, like especially when they get a quarterback like that, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel like Russell Wilson, he got like a Peyton Manning type of vibe, you know, when he got switched to the Broncos. So I thought they were gonna do it then, but then, you know, they did. I don't know. I don't know. I just have a knack. Like I just feel like it's coming. And then Mike Tomlin's got his 3-year new deal. And then, you know, I just feel like he has 21 games he's 21 games away from a certain mark. I don't know if you could pull it up, but he's like 21 games away from something. But I don't know, man. They're throwing like little things here and there about the Steelers, but I mean, because we could be the team to knock off the Chiefs and the Bengals because our defense is so good. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? That's all though.
Here, I'll just remind you again. It's the 105th NFL season. Mahomes' birthday is the NFL's birthday, the day leaving 105 days left in the year, and his favorite target's got the 10-5 birthday, Kelsey. You got the Bengals, whose Cincinnati Bengals is 105. And then the Bills don't have a 105 connection, but they do have a big OJ connection who did die in a big 59 ritual. Again, you guys, OJ's 59 death ritual was so sick. But part of me thinks that Buffalo still needs their stadium before they do anything. OJ could be, they did kill him in a 59 ritual, though. He died 59 days after the Super Bowl. And for people who don't know your Bible, Ephesians 6, the verses 5 through 9 say, slaves, obey your masters. They had to announce OJ's death as the masters was teeing off. Slave equals 59. You run it in reverse, it equals 76. The word master, 76. OJ dead at 76. And just a sick, twisted ritual. Mega deaths in the offseason are often connected to the Super Bowl, but not always. So that's one thing right now that's given Buffalo a little bit of a chance.
All right, and I got one more question. Because my brother, right? He always mentions when he watches you, he always asks him. I had to ask you this question. What do you always tell me?
What's a Freemason?
He wants to know what's a Freemason is, and who are the Moors?
Why does he need to ask me what a Freemason is when he has Google at his fingertips?
Because he just wants to hear.
I want to hear him say, "Who the Moors?"
He just want to.
How do Masons become free?
Like the whole sidebar.
Well, maybe it has to do with the phrase the truth will set you free. I mean, that they study a lot of esoteric knowledge, but I mean, the definition of a Freemason, anyone who chooses to join the society, and it's not like every Freemason's in on it. You or I or your brother could all become Freemasons as long as we didn't get blackballed, and then we could get our first 3 degrees and hang out with the local Masons, and it wouldn't mean that we're part of some cabal. So I don't know. I mean, Freemasonry, a secret society that goes back eons, and modern Freemasonry founded in London, England, June 24th, 1717.
1717. That's right. 1776. The Declaration of Independence. But the Freemasons aren't free from Jesuits. They're free from Moors. Because to be a Mason is to be under the tutelage of a Moor. This is where you get the term and phrase peon. In 1776, the agreement that was made to allow castaways to become and learn to be tutored under apprenticeship of 1776. Understand that year and that date and what happened before the naturalization that took place in 1790, but more concerned of the nationalization that was neglected, but by the people as well. But the Freemason itself has no tutelage over or under the Jesuit. And I understand the rogue pope of 1314 was that Friday 13th that everyone rolls over, but these are separate groups. And I wanted my brother to understand some of that. I understand when people speak about Freemasonry and Masonry, but when you get into the talented 10 and understand what took place within those priesthoods of, how could I say this, mysticism, right? In the 1920s, you see the fallout. But Mason as itself is son of Mayat. When you speak about the Egyptian deity Mayat, and you learn mother and son, and that represents the republic of representation, which means republic in the form of government, in the form of democracy, which means forming in contract and rights to contract and negotiate. This is where people fall to understand government, because democracy has no form without representation. He who controls the pen is the representation of the person. So this is where you get into the Declaration of Independence of 1776, when those agreements were made. I understand that, and those agreements are still not being clarified, I'll say. But I'll leave that there. I want my little brother to kind of peep on some of that. But I understand what you're saying. Within the Jesuit order took place more like in the 1690s, more per se, in what you're speaking on now today. Because this is going to the Secret Treaty of Verona of 1692, where they really took the oath to go against something who was called the Royal Viceroy under the British, I would say, monarchs that were controlling at that time under the Dutch system. Again, we'll see more evidence of that showing up today. And it's mainly relevant towards that. I did want to say that to you. I don't want to interrupt too much. I just came in and get some water from my little brother. I'm here for a quick minute. I'm about to step out. But that's what I want to say. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave the floor.
Okay. Shout out to the Moors. We had some good Moors come out when we were in Buffalo.
That wraps it up for me. There's like, but I just always forget to say that, but that, I just,
yeah. I get Gematria, but there is only there's no such thing as two numbers and a number of variables, only 1 through 9. When you keep running Gematria, you're gonna find 4, 5, 5, 9, 6, 1, and today you're gonna see a 6, 1 and a 5, 6. But you're gonna also run that 9 back with a 9, 2 today. All day today, you're gonna see these numbers pop up mainly in like the midday within the first 9, which is 12, 3, and 6. In the daytime, you watch the numbers. But certain Gematria, I get it. But I'm on different math. I'll let it science though. But I try to take my little brother. He's picking up right now, so it's all good, man. Stay what's up.
Yeah, right on.
Peace to the people.
Indeed. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. Did you want to say any more? Because we got more people in line. But if you got more, go ahead.
No, that's it. Like I just wanted y'all to go off each other. Bounce ideas off each other. But that's it, Zach, for me, man.
All right. Appreciate both of you guys. You have a good night.
You too, man.
Take care. All right. Trap maintenance, you're on.
Yo, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up?
Hold on, let me turn my light on. All right, so basically the only thing I want to say was I've been watching you for so long. Like I've been watching you ever since like 2016 when I was a freshman in high school, and it was something like about the Colts and the Vikings being in the Super Bowl. They won a final matchup, of course, but like all the numbers was aligned or whatever. And I've been trying to tell all my classmates, everybody, like, please, like, I'm not lying or nothing, but they just all think I'm crazy. Like, so what should I tell them now? Like, it's years later. I'm all grown up now.
What do you mean? What should you tell them now?
I'm saying, like, you think I should continue to try to plead my case to them, or should I just let them, like, see whenever they see, like, whenever it all comes out one day, if it comes out one day?
Well, again, I mean, it depends on a lot of different circumstances. I don't know how many times you try to talk to them, but I just try to get people with simple things.
True.
I mean, ask them, like, don't you think it's weird about how Bill Walton, dies the day the Celtics go to the finals?
And I said that because, look, it's so crazy because they sent the post to a group chat like, the Celtics are definitely going to win Game 5. Look what ESPN just posted: 617, 6/17. I said, you don't understand what I was trying to tell you years ago. They talking about, I guess they just tried to ignore it. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, when ESPN posts this, like, they get blinded right by it. It's right in their face. That's what's so crazy.
It is.
It's just so, like, I just hate how it's just so crazy. But one thing about me though, I know like everything is like scripted and all that, and I watch your videos like anytime you come out with a new video. But for some reason, I'm just still like a Green Bay fan. Like I know it's scripted and everything. I just don't bet on it. I just watch it. Like it's all entertainment.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Yeah, but pretty much that was all I wanted to get on here for. I think I had a question for you. What was my question? Question I had for you was, what do you think? How do you think the NFL season gonna play out? Because it's a lot of hype around like C.J. Stroud. Like, do you think he's gonna be like the next, or you think, I don't know?
You just never know what the NFL is going to do with quarterbacks. I mean, they've had it before where a guy comes out and balls out his rookie or sophomore year, and then he just falls totally off the map. But it does seem like they got plans for C.J. Stroud, because I want to remind people what happened in the first 2 games of the playoffs last year. Were the Texans beating the Browns. And again, for anyone who watched that game, I don't know how you could think the NFL is real, because don't you remember how there was a brutal pass interference on the Texans? They literally tackled the Browns receiver before the ball got there, right in front of the ref, and the ref did an incomplete. And because that was an incomplete, it made it so they had to punt the ball. It would have been a first down, assuming he caught it, and it would have been a routine catch. But then the very next play, C.J. Stroud just chucks the ball way down the field. There's hardly even any contact between the receiver and the defender, and they throw a pass interference and put the Texans right at the goal line. It just flipped the whole game around, those 2 things, and it was over from there. Texans had all the momentum and just ran away with the game. But what we were pointing out is the first game of the playoffs, the Texans won, and then the second game of the playoffs was the Chiefs over Miami. And again, where did the Chiefs start? The Chiefs started once upon a time in Texas. They were the Dallas Texans,
Chiefs.
and they became the Kansas City Chiefs. So and the Chiefs also became 5-8 in the wild card round, winning that game that day. And Andy Reid stayed on 58 losses.
Oh,
And then
about that.
Baltimore fell to 5-8 versus them in the all-time head-to-head as the Chiefs went on to win Super Bowl 58. And where did Andy Reid get his 58th loss? Who remembers? Remember, they got crushed by the Raiders on Christmas in the Super Bowl stadium. So they didn't lose another game after that, just staying on 58 losses did Andy Reid as he won Super Bowl 58. And you guys might recall Mahomes won his third Super Bowl 3 days after they put up the Kobe Bryant statue. Kobe Bean Bryant has the gematria 54. You run it the other way, Kobe Bryant alone equals 58. Mahomes wins Super Bowl 54 after Kobe dies, and then he wins Super Bowl 58, the 54th of the modern era. By the way, both of those were the Joe Montana Bulls, and Joe Montana's 54. But
that's crazy. I remember that too because like just a few months ago in February, that 58 was big. It was big in the playoffs. That 58 number was big. I was sending a lot, and I was watching your videos on it.
And that's right, Derek Thomas, number 58. It was his death anniversary that they put up the Kobe statue.
Thanks.
So, and then
Yeah,
3 days later, again, 3 days after the statue goes up, Mahomes wins his third Super Bowl. And at the beginning of that season, Chiefs lost the first game, and we said right there, we said, well, look, if they win the next 4, they're going to be 4-1 versus Minnesota. Super Bowl equals 41. They won their fourth. The Chiefs won their first ever Super Bowl over Minnesota. And this year they won their 4th Super Bowl as a franchise and Mahomes' 4th Super Bowl. Again, all the little clues throughout the season were all pointing to Kansas City getting it done this year. And like we said at the beginning of the year, what did we say? We said the AFC Championship was going to be Baltimore and Kansas City, exactly what it was. And we saw as soon as the playoffs began that Baltimore was dead because we saw how if they faced Kansas City, they were going to fall to 5-8 and Andy Reid would stay on 58 losses. So,
yeah. Yep. Well, that was pretty much all I want. I respect everything you're doing. I want you to just keep going. And everybody they be saying like this ain't got nothing towards you, but I just want to tell everybody that ever say like Zach's been wrong or he didn't say this in the beginning of the season. Everybody predictions change because at the beginning of the season nobody even expecting the Dallas Mavericks to make. Like if you're a regular NBA
people just
fan,
always want to talk shit. I was very clear.
They just always want to talk shit.
I said a million times it's either going to be the Chiefs or Baltimore. And
Facts.
for anyone
You
who watched
definitely
my
did.
Super Bowl 57 stream where we nailed Super Bowl 57, I said at the very end of that stream for free to everybody, I said the most likely Super Bowl winner next year is the Chiefs becoming 4-2 in Super Bowls on the 42nd day of the year when Missouri equals 42. Exactly what happened. So the very first thought was Chiefs. If it wasn't them, it would be Baltimore. Again, we knew by the time the playoffs came around, it was Chiefs all day.
Facts. Okay, now this is my last question. The last question is: do you believe in that Super Bowl color logo like theory? Like when they come out with a logo every year, do you believe like the actual teams that play in the next Super Bowl be already decided in the color?
Well, they did that a few years in a row, right? And then this year, the media started really advertising that.
Yeah,
and
then it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen this year, right? So that's kind of how they bait people.
Yep, true. Yeah, true. Probably a typical Vegas trick to get anybody to bet on the possible matchup. But all right, appreciate it, man. I appreciate you.
Indeed. All right, have a good night, friend. You take care.
All right, you too. All right.
All right, let's go out to Tony.
Hey, what's up, Zach? You can hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man? You're staying up late.
Yeah, I know. I'm at work, so that's why. I didn't hear the first hour of your screen, but I know you talked about the Boston area code being 617, right?
Yep. Yep. 113th prime, 113 points at halftime, 67-46 while Larry Bird's 67.
So back-to-back years we get the 4-1 ritual, right? Dallas winning 4-1, now Boston winning 4-1.
Yeah.
So you get the Kobe numbers. They won in 08.
Yep.
Now they win in 24. Those are the Kobe numbers right there. They go with the Jerry West.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, West is 41 as well.
And one more thing, what was Jaylen Brown odds to win the Finals MVP before the finals? So was it plus 700 or something, or it was higher than that?
I'm not sure what he was. I'm not sure what Jaylen Brown to win MVP was pre-tournament or pre-finals.
If it was plus 7 something, he wear the number 7. So it was just obvious that they was telling you that he was going to win this shit. You remember when he won the Eastern Conference thing, he said, "Oh, I never win anything." So he won that thing and this. So he won 2 trophies, and he got that allegedly contract before the season started.
The season began on his birthday. The day one of the season, October 24th, was his 27th birthday. So this year's season began literally on his birthday.
And I remember you did a story about Jaylen Brown's best friend dying or something. How long ago was that? That's when he first came in the league. That his best friend died or something. And I remember the story about his best friend dying or something. Was that recently, or that's when he first came into the league? I remember you doing a story about his best friend dying. I can't remember how long ago it was. I just remember that.
Here, I'm just going to search his name in my site and see what pulls up real quick, because there's so many things I covered, I forget a lot of stuff. Let's see. I think that was back. Jaylen Brown's best friend who died unexpectedly November 15th, the day leaving 46 days left in the year. Celtics 46, sacrifice 46.
That was a halftime score. 67-46 to halftime score.
November 15th, 2017. Yeah, Jaylen Brown's friend died. His name was Trevon Lamont Steed, which equals 77 like Boston, like how the finals were set this year with the 77th game. And he died 22 days after Jaylen Brown's birthday. Basketball in Boston, 22. Yeah.
And it was one more thing I wanted to say about this finals. What is it? So Boston got the 18th.
And they won by 18 points, game 1 and game 5.
And it's 18 days after who died?
Game 4 was 18 days after Bill Walton died. Again, Jerry West died 18 days before Joe Mazzulla's birthday, and they both went to West Virginia. Was today 18 days after somebody's birthday?
I remember you kept saying it was 18 days, but with the West Virginia, the Boston head coach and Jerry West. It was something with 18 days after with Joe Mazzulla's birthday or something. It was something about Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, Jerry West died 18 days before Joe Mazzulla's birthday. And again, had the Celtics swept him and closed it out in game 4 on Trump's birthday, it would have been 18 days after Bill Walton died. I don't know if there was an 18 in terms of somebody's birthday to today's game. If there was, I'm overlooking that right now.
Well, they gave you the final score. They won it by 18. So basically, they put it in your face for the 18 champion. People still don't see it.
And again, the 106, the 106 is interesting because 106 is the 78th composite number going with this 78th season. Yeah.
Okay. It was one more point I wanted to make. Let me see if I can remember it.
And again, just to remind people, our little parlay today in sports was Celtics win. Boston beats Toronto to keep Toronto on 18 home wins, and the Mets beat the Rangers to give the Rangers their 18th home loss. Because again, Rangers are right down where the Mavericks play. Obviously, Boston in baseball, they've been doing a lot. Again, yesterday, Boston beat the Yankees 2-1 in the series and outscored them 18-15 after losing 1-8 in the first game. Just all these signs of 18. And then you had the death of that Olympian today at age 18. So.
And you said that was 41 days before the Olympics started, right?
He died 41 days before the Olympics started, right?
So that's another 41 with the 18 right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you were talking about Patrick Mahomes. I heard you talk to a call about Patrick Mahomes. You see all these, every time you look, is somebody in the Chiefs getting in trouble. The lineman, he got arrested again in Alabama. But every other Chief beat the news except for Patrick Mahomes. You noticed that, right?
Remember how they had to give his dad his 3rd DUI right before Mahomes got his 3rd Super Bowl? Man.
Exactly. So look how much Chief stuff's in the news. How offensive linemen get arrested for the 2nd time during the offseason? Come on, man.
Remember what they did with Rice of the Chiefs in Dallas?
Oh, you're talking about with the drag racing and the crash.
Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly that's what happened.
So basically, I'm still putting my money on Patrick Mahomes 3-peat and being the first quarterback to 3-peat.
It's definitely a narrative. So
and I kind of agree. I'm kind of agree with you. If it's not Patrick Mahomes, it might be Joe Burrow because he have a lot of like New Orleans connection. That's the only other thing I can see. And it may be Baltimore.
And like I said, the other one to think about and needs more research is Buffalo because of O.J. Simpson.
Oh yeah, because of O.J.
I mean, as blatant as these people are, remember last year, the owner of the Chiefs, Norma Hunt, died on June 4th before the Chiefs' 64th season when Kansas City Chiefs is 64. But that was also the 49ers establishment anniversary. I mean, these people could put Bills versus 49ers in the Super Bowl after OJ died 59 days after the last Super Bowl. Most people wouldn't even blink an eye. But again, this is the kind of stuff that they get away with each year. And when you put in enough research and see the rituals, you can often nail the futures, as we've done consistently for a decade.
You remember Chris Berman used to have that joke that, he always wanted the Buffalo San Francisco Super Bowl, that Buffalo San Francisco. You remember Chris Berman? He always used to say that.
I bet you if they did that, I bet you if they did that, Chris Berman would die too. I bet you that's exactly how that would work out.
I wouldn't put it past them.
It'd be like halftime. They'd be like, sad news, Swami says has just passed.
Right after Buffalo and San Fran win the conference game to get to the Super Bowl, probably.
Yeah, so I got to look up how old Chris Berman is, because you're right. He has always wanted to see that Super Bowl.
Cause I remember he's been screaming that since the mid '90s, late '90s. He's been screaming that.
Yeah,
Buffalo, San Fran. So maybe, and it's crazy that OJ died and they're gonna meet this season.
Hold up, I just got to throw it out there. Hold up, Chris Berman's birthday is the 10th day of the 5th month. 105 is the 105th NFL season. I mean, you gotta look at these things.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
No,
when they play during the regular season, Buffalo, San Fran. I remember you said that.
Remember we talked about that. Not only did OJ die at 76, the Bills are 7-6 versus the 49ers all time right now. Let me look at the schedule again for 49ers Bills. I forget. 49er Bills schedule. I know they do play each other this year. Hold up. They play each other on December 1st. So the Super Bowl's on February 9th, the 40th day of the year. That's the day. So the Super Bowl's 70 days after that game, 10 weeks. Berman's going to turn, or no, never mind. Berman turns 69 in May.
Is the game at San Francisco or is it in Buffalo?
It's at Buffalo.
Oh, it's in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're gonna say any OJ tributes during the game, or they just gonna try to ignore it like
I mean, come on, man. You know they're gonna pay huge tribute to OJ. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion. So,
they might try to ignore it like he didn't exist or nothing.
No, it's not gonna be like that. They're gonna be rubbing your face in it. They're going to be doing what they always do. It's going to be like they're going to be showing a highlight of O.J. Simpson from a 33-yard run back in the day while the score's 33-30. So,
and one thing they did when OJ, it was something about when OJ retired with San Francisco in '79. It was something with the '79 with OJ death and him retiring in '79 with the 49ers. I forgot what it was. It was something with the '79. Him retired in '79 with the 49ers. Well, I don't forgot what it was.
Well, his birthday's 79, murder 79.
That's what it was. His birthday's 79. That's what it was. He retired with the 49ers in '79, and his birthday's 79. Yeah, that's what it was.
The from his death to the game is 235 days. Like the Society of Jesus equals 235. The other team to really watch out for this year in football is USC, who OJ won the Heisman for in '68.
And this their first year in the Big Ten.
Yeah, USC could be very interesting this year.
All right, I think I hit all my points. I hit the baseball stuff during the week with you.
All right.
Because we got a lot of interesting baseball series coming up in the next 4 weeks, I see.
Yeah. Always more to talk about and decode. Appreciate it, Tony. Right. Thanks for calling in during work. You have a good night.
All right, Zach.
All right, take care. It's 208 Productions. What's up, man?
Yo. I just wanted to come on and just say what's up. Don't have too much to add. I'll keep it pretty quick, but I just wanted to say thank you to you mostly, because shit, I mean I've been watching the videos every day recently. I've been kind of in the background, but I've been around so long, you don't have to keep up with the shit every day. You can see it for yourself. And I've been teaching so many people, and I just kind of just wanted to say that. I know you probably hear it a lot, but shit, I found this work when I was like 13, like 14. I'm 20 now. Completely changed the whole path of my fucking life. Like, just super thankful that I was young when I found this stuff, and like could go through the whole next 80 years of my life just cutting through all the bullshit if we survive that long, that is. But yeah, fucking. Oh wait, and I want to do something for the trolls. I can't flip my camera around, but since the trolls ain't nothing but a big ass joke, motherfuckers.
Indeed, they are. Well,
Yep.
Appreciate you always being here as one of our young supporters. Thank you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, shout out to all the previous callers. Any next ones? Shout out to you. I hope everybody has a great night.
All right, man. You too. Take care.
Peace out.
All right, we got Rich. What's up, Rich?
Oh, just kind of annoyed, man, from earlier. But one question I had was, I know all about the 617 area code. Is anyone mentioning that Kobe's last title was on 617 2010 against the Celtics?
Doesn't it make sense? 617, 113th prime. Kobe Bryant 113, the National Basketball Association. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. 113.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't.
Tonight. In light of Kobe did die on 67 date numerology. Today had 67 date numerology. They did have 67 points at the half, a big blood sacrifice number. Who's going to get it next? Because again, you guys, the deaths aren't done for these finals. It's the same thing every year. Deaths before the finals, during the finals, after the finals, and all clearly connected. You know more are coming. You know more are coming.
Yeah, to the people that what I got annoyed about was the after the fact people, and I can complain and rant about this all I want, but it's not going to do no good, Zach. People just don't grasp.
They know we're not after the fact. That's the trolls and lying and frauds and just trying to flip the truth on its head. It's like, no, man,
you're right.
Yeah, all the trolls are right that know that we're not after the fact. They're like paid for disinfo, trying to again flip the truth on its head.
What's wrong with the stuff that you have shown afterwards, though?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Nothing. And again, for people to understand, when I first got here and first learned about this, I did do a lot of research to put all this together. And I did have to look a lot at history. And once I saw there was these patterns in history, I said, well, here, let me try it out and see if it works going forward. And then sure enough, it was working like the sweetest thing I'd ever put together in my life.
Yeah.
And, here we are over a decade later doing the same
thing. Take an example like the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Look at all we show at the 128s. We couldn't have predicted they were going to knock that bridge down like that. But look what all we can show. Because we know what they do. We know the types of stuff they do. So even if you can't predict everything.
Hold up, Rich. Rich, since you were in that troll stream, I got to tell you something that's so weird. Did you ever see the footage when I was at Stanford last spring and what the dude was doing behind my back, who was acting like he was my friend the whole day? Have you ever seen that footage?
I vaguely remember hearing something about it, but
my Jay-Z symbol, like the Jay-Z Illuminati symbol, but he was just pointing it right at my back while I was talking to this student for like literally 20 minutes, and Cuts is sitting there filming while this dude's doing the Illuminati symbol right at my back. But what's funny is if you search Cuts 1, you'll find the little video of where I shouted him out back then from that spring. And that other dude's in that video before that happened. And that other dude just says out of nowhere, he's like, yeah, we're out here, but nobody's going to do anything about anything until bridges start falling. And we were out in the Bay Area when he said that. And now I'm looking back at that. And I'm thinking, that was a really weird comment. And something was definitely up with those two dudes.
I didn't see the footage, but I think Frank or somebody told me about it.
Yeah.
Nothing surprises me, but I don't even. Cuts is nobody, man. He's literally just nobody.
Definitely no, but the thing is, both of those weirdos came out and met me when I was at YouTube. So I look back at that too. They both came out while I was at YouTube. They followed me around all day. They were doing some weird ass shit behind my back when I wasn't looking. So
yeah, exactly. When you're not looking, he talks shit when he's on camera. He would not do anything in person. I guarantee it. One thing that bugs me is all they focus on and associate you with is gematria specifically. Even if you don't believe in the gematria, which there's no reason not to, but you've shown way more than gematria. So much, I've been here 8 years. So much truth has came out. I couldn't even begin to say it all. I mean, gosh, man. It's just, but they only associate you with gematria specifically, and I believe they.
Rich, we don't even need to go on about this. If the world was smarter, a lot more people would appreciate what I've been doing for the last decade.
Yeah.
Again, it might sound arrogant coming from me, but I've never seen anybody in the world connect more dots and prove more and call out more things before it happened. And I mean, did I not put out a book right at the start of the pandemic explaining why they were going to wind down all their bullshit as soon as the year of the tiger came around? Exactly what they did do. You think
the pandemic, Kobe Bryant, Bryant, and the pandemic and 9/11. That's all you need to know right there. In record time, you exposed it all. So.
Not to mention we were way before 2020 came around. We explained why it was going to be a really bad year because of the psychopaths and their 19-year cycles, and then it ends up being COVID-19 19 years after 9/11 and the 19 hijackers. I mean,
we never hear the trolls try to debunk 9/11 or coronavirus or something like that. You know what I mean? Because they can't.
Yeah. So,
but I get it. I could rant all day, and it's going to do no good. They're still going to do their same tired shtick. But here's the good news. In their little echo chamber channels where like 14 people are listening, they're making zero impact, man. So
no, they're not. I mean, they're just trying to annoy other people and steal their energy.
Yeah, right. The Matrix's channel is now resorted to just people who don't like you anymore. So
right. And see, the thing about that guy is I thought it was nice when he came around, but him and his sidekick started out as trolls on my channel like 10 years ago. They were trolling me together, and now they're back to trolling me together. And he was never a real friend of the community. It's just like Chris Emery said in Oklahoma City. Chris Emery, the filmmaker, took me aside. He said, "That dude right over there, he's a Fed." And I said, "How do you know that?" And I said, "Really?" He said, "Trust me." He wouldn't explain to me how, but he said he knew that dude was a Fed. And he's the same one that brought the little weirdo cuts into the community. And he's the same one that started attacking me out of nowhere as soon as the Israel war popped off. And again, was that not another great prediction? Because I know I put out a video the day Netanyahu came back, December 29th, 2020, explaining why a big war was coming in Israel in 2023, right around the time Yale turned 322 years old. And sure enough, the war popped off 2 days before Yale turned 322. All of a sudden, this weirdo just starts attacking the channel out of nowhere.
I definitely remember you predicting that. Absolutely.
Yeah, anyone can still watch the video from December 29, 2022. It's on my other channel, and it's on GematriaEffectNews 22, which still exists and stands. And again, I mean, these are insane predictions, you guys. I mean, it's not just sports that we call. We've been calling a lot of things: news, sports, history, elections, showing how it's all rigged, it's all scripted, it's all planned, it's all Kabbalistic. And again, if your argument is, well, Hebrew's where it began. It's like, yeah, we've gone over that. There are a lot of parallels to Hebrew, but, thousands of years later, here comes English and the calendar and a new system synced up with the system that's clearly being used for world domination. So
I gotta jump off here. I gotta work tomorrow, Zach, but I wanted to let you know something before I get off so I don't forget. I wanted to congratulate you on your daughter coming on the way. I know you and May are going to make great parents.
Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, absolutely, man. I'm happy for you for that.
Well, thanks, Rich.
You're welcome.
All right. Take care, man. Have a good night.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to Rich. He's pounded payment with us from Oklahoma City to New York. Thank you again to the people who donated tonight. Mike Rawson chipped in 5. BPST3 chipped in 5. Space Invader chipped in 5. 33 always chipped in 1. Thank you very much, 33 always. And Oscar Garcia again chipped in 5. And in a sense, though, you guys, I appreciate the support. But hey, nearly a 2-hour stream, hardly raised any money. If this was a Tim Pool live stream, just talking a whole bunch of nothing but bullshit, there probably would have been over $10,000 in super chats right now. Tim Pool's never helped anybody do anything about anything. Has never taught anybody any truth. Just does nothing but indoctrination, nothing but bullshit information. Just literally wasting your time listening to an idiot in a hoodie in the middle of summer. And again, just you're not going to gain anything from listening to people like that. But somehow, just money just flows to these people, and it's probably all controlled opposition. It's probably Illuminati money flowing through the super chats. But it is sad that here's another big future, Landon. If you took my advice preseason, and again, tiny little financial support for literally, guys, you can scour the whole internet. If you have a brain, you're going to recognize there's not more important content anywhere on the internet. And for all you who to argue against that, where's your argument? My work shows how evil and corrupt the system is that rules over us, that lies to us, that terrorizes us, that wastes our time, that leads us astray. And it shows who's doing it, which are the things you really need to understand to stop it. But there's so little will in the world to stop it. You know, while we brought in $21 to fight the cabal tonight, you know, the Boston Celtics brought in millions in tickets and jersey sales and hot dog sales and beer sales and parking lot sales for a bunch of people to come congregate at a Rig Sports Championship in the 617 on the date 617. You know what I mean? This is what's wrong with the world. They're just the peon masses just giving their money and resources to all the wrong things. Here's the guy who's been here every day for over a decade, dropping the dopest information there ever was, helping people pad their pockets, and very little comes back in return. And, you know, it's got me debating, you know, when little one comes, might be time to wrap it up and retire. I'm seriously thinking about at the end of the year, just because it's sad how little support there is for how important the work is. And the thing is, I pay all this money every month for a website for people to network and share and organize. Almost no one uses it. The most active people on there are my trolls. It just makes me like look out at the world and just say, man, the world sucks. The world is pathetic. You know, there's so few people that have care, compassion, or the ability to work together or collaborate. There's so many haters and jealous losers, you know, and I wish this wasn't the reality of the world, but it is. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I am highly disappointed in the world and the lack of support there is behind the work. It makes me sick that I drove all the way across the U.S. from Seattle to New York, pounding pavement in every city, getting people to come together, dropping nothing but truth on the streets that the whole world needs, and financial support got cut in half after the trip. Again, these are the things that are wrong with the world. So anyway. Yeah, I've put books out there. I've done over 10,000 videos in the last 10 years. And I mean, I can continue to do it, but a part of me is watch myself get old. And, you know, if the world's just not up on game yet, and yeah, it's just casting pearls before swine is what I feel that I do at this point, at this day and age. And shout out to everyone who's not swine, but it's few and far between. You know, it's a world of swine. People can't find $1 a month to support this work, but how much money do they spend every month at these junk food restaurants, spend on their cable bill, all these evil corporations that rule over us? They got endless dollars for this trash, but not $1 for a guy who will dedicate over a decade every single day to dropping the dopest information there ever was on the web. And for all of you who don't think it is, I mean, tell me what's better. Tell me what's better. Again, dumb explanations, crickets, just people saying things like, oh, lots of things. Gematria is just one piece of the... No, that's not what I said, moron. I said, tell me something that's better than what I've done in the last decade. Show me. Show me what piece of knowledge you can use to take advantage of the rigged stock market, the rigged crypto market, the rigged sports market, the rigged election market, the rigged news market, sadly, the death pools, all of it. All of it. Show me the knowledge that does it in all those categories. Bet you can't even come close. Yeah, a piece of the puzzle. Yeah, it's a piece of the puzzle, but here's the puzzle. And gematria is a huge chunk of it, like more than half, because it's like the most important thing in Kabbalah, and we're ruled over by the Cabal. The about this comment right here, just to wrap it up. Again, yeah, Kobe died at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age, traveling from Catholic Mass, and then LeBron won the finals exactly 41 weeks later on Father-Daughter Day, and the only reason the season was going on at that time was because of the Jesuit pandemic, all by the numbers, just like the sports. And remember, that year shifted Jackie Robinson Day to August 28th, and then that was Jack Kirby's birthday, who wrote the Black Panther, and Jackie Robinson was in the Black Panthers Tank Brigade, and then Chadwick Boseman, who was Black Panther, and Jackie Robinson, he just dropped dead that day. So, yeah. And again, just like this person comes in right here, yeah, just again, Celtics win game 1 by 18. They win game 5 by 18 for the 18th chip. All the 18s, a dead 18-year-old Olympian in the news. Yeah, not just for you, Michelle. Gematria is the glue that puts the pieces of the puzzle together. I mean, I've never seen anything like it that puts the pieces of the puzzle better together. I don't think anyone has, and I don't think anyone's going to find anything that puts it all together better. And it makes a lot of sense because it's all based in numbers. The 4th book of the Bible's numbers. This whole code is biblical. They etch on the Masonic temples all as number. Masonry is based in Kabbalah, which is based in the Old Testament. Remember, with regards to numbers, the 4th book, Numbers, read Exodus 4 about Moses, the staff, and the snake. Again, go back and look at Moses Malone's 1982 Nike ad where they got him dressed up like Moses in the Bible with the staff. And then remember, Kobe dies 4 years after Moses Malone. Moses Malone was drafted out of high school by Utah. Kobe finishes his career against Utah. Kobe plays his last game 213 days after Moses Malone dies when LA's the 213 area code, like they won the Super Bowl on 213. The Billy Cannon Bowl it was that year. But, yeah, the Moses Malone and Kobe thing. 4 years apart. Kobe was 4 years old when Moses Malone said faux, faux, faux as he won the finals that year. Again, it was all scripted that long. Back then, Kobe's dad was in the league. Kobe born into the league through his father. Again, long, dark, twisted scripts, and almost all of these numbers, again, if you really get down to it, they all go back to the Bible. So. Can you send me a super chat for what? For what? What are you asking me to do? I didn't see what you asked. I don't see any comment before from earlier what you were even talking about. Comic Starian died in a car crash. I don't know who that is. Comic Storian? Comic Storian. I guess he's a comic historian. I never heard of him. Comic Storian. YouTuber? Cause of death revealed right here. Deadline. He died. The news broke on the day, leaving 201 days left in the year. We're already getting interesting. Let's see. Ben Potter, the popular YouTuber known as Comic Storian, died of blunt force injuries to the head due to a single vehicle rollover crash. The Larimer County, Colorado coroner's office has revealed. The 40-year-old resident of Windsor, Colorado, died June 8th at a location identified at 2237 Southwest Frontage Road in Fort Collins, Colorado. His death was announced earlier this week by his wife, Natalie Potter, who did not detail the circumstances of his passing. Well, June 8th, the other year, who got it on June 8th was the chef who had the show on CNN, Anthony Bourdain. Caskets go 6 feet deep or 8 feet long. That date can be written 8-6, like 86. Like 86 means to get rid of. Blood sacrifice 86. Human sacrifice 86. Of course, people are going to pass naturally on June 8th too, but you know, in light of him being connected to, or it's Colorado, not Denver. Yeah, I don't know enough about this guy to do much of a decode, but I can just look at the simple things. I don't know his birthday, which is a crucial piece of information. Ben Potter, he's got these numbers. Comic Storian. Comic Storian. I mean, I see things that are definitely interesting about the numbers. It's just, yeah, it's hard to do decodes about people when you're missing information about who they are. And I mean, I could do more research on this, but here, let me see his YouTube page real quick. $3 million subscribers. These kind of things get embarrassing to me. It's like, this is what's wrong with the adults, man. Grown men walking around with their comic t-shirts on, care more about comic books than what's actually going on in the world. Entertainment is what people seek, not knowledge. He's got a store tab, huh? I don't know about that. He joined on the 86th day of the year in 2014. Funny. Ends up dying on a date that can be written 8-6. He died a little more than 10 years after starting his YouTube. Here, just out of curiosity. March 27th. Anniversary of the YouTube. Died June 8th. It's weird. He died 73 days after the anniversary of his YouTube. That's a big sacrifice number. You could say he died on the 74th day of his age. It's the big killing number. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to do more research to do a proper decode. So you can feel free to drop a super chat, but you don't got to draw much. Yeah, the Harbaugh Bowl was the blackout Super Bowl. Baltimore won with 34 points. Maryland 34. Shout out to Oscar Garcia again. You didn't have to do that, Oscar. Oscar's trying to always pick up the slack. Well, you have to. I'm streaming on 3 channels right now at once. I'm on Gematria Effect Sports, which you cannot super chat on because they've never allowed me to monetize the channel. They've destroyed Gematria Effect Sports. It's just pretty much a dead channel. Gematria Effect News 25 is the other channel I'm streaming on. You can super chat there. You don't have to do it though. I didn't give that much of a decode. Remember, Miami's perfect season ended in 73. Remember that? Perfect also equals 73. Again, just scripted sports. The perfect season. 73. Okay. All right, here, I'll drop the link one more time for anybody else who might have something to share in this stream. And if not, we can wrap it up. Yeah, Donald Trump, 78 years old. Trump cards from the tarot deck. 78 cards in the tarot deck. In Gematria, tarot cards equal 119. The winner of this election takes office with the 119th Congress. Been talking about these things for many years, how it all lined up. 106 again is the 78th composite number. Like this is the 78th NBA season. Boston Celtics again, the only 78 team, full name in the league. Oh, hold on. Let's see what he's going to add to the conversation. Okay, we'll give this poor guy a chance. What's up, man? You done at the gas station?
Yeah, we're finished working.
Okay.
You
okay.
know what you're gonna need to do, Quacker? You're gonna need to get a job when you have your baby. You do. I heard you said you were gonna quit. You should absolutely quit and get a job.
Well,
Stop
again, this
frauding
is work that I
people
do
about
each day.
regard.
Okay. Poor gas station attendant. Again, what I do is very real work, very important work that people value. That's why it's financially supported. And again, that's why people expect the product that I put out in the morning. Took that advice as product today. You might have hit yourself a nice little 3-teamer. So, and in addition to doing the sports thing, again, we put out mega knowledge every day, waking people up to the reality of the rigged, corrupt system that we live under that needs to be done away with and overthrown by a mass uprising. And you always sit there in your car mocking that idea because you're a proud tyrant. I mean, you go on little celebrations of how you're very proud of yourself that you're 41 years old and you work at a gas station. You know, I had a job like that when I was 15. When I had a lower set of skills and hadn't gotten out of high school yet, I worked some jobs like at the gas station too. But you know, some of us evolve and put our skills and talents to better use, and you know, we strive to do more than sit behind the cash register and give people change back and say, yeah, $13.50 on pump 5, here's your 50 cents back, etc. I mean, it's great that you can do that, Cuts. You're the definition of a useful idiot. But again, you're just not a very smart guy either. And that's why you are where you are in life. It's why you're a loner. It's why you have no friends. It's why you have a restraining order by your own family. And again, you're sitting here mocking what we're doing. We just landed another sports future, which is important because it proves that the games are rigged. Again, before the season began, we said most likely team to win the finals, Boston Celtics. Here we are. So what's up, Conley RB?
Hey, Zach. I just wanted to jump on here and talk about the this little code I had on the power grid in 2025. I think things are probably going to get a little crazy here this year. Grid equals 25, death 25. We know that's a big number with death. And the end equals 25, and the end of the world equals 250. And the Public Enemy album, What You Can Do When the Grid Goes Down, released on the 25th of September. So I just kind of wanted to.
Here, I'm going to remind people about this movie that Amazon added back when we were all on lockdown for the COVID. Sure. It was actually called Lockdown 2025. We've been talking about this forever because the George Floyd had a huge 225 in it. And this movie, Lockdown 2025, it might still be on Amazon if you have it. It's about the movie's really simple. You can tell it's a low budget film, but it's kind of got a profound concept. But a family's at the dinner table, and a man, his daughter brings home the boyfriend who's a different race than everybody else. And then there's this like racial tiff thing going on. And all the man wants to do is, it's Sunday night. They're about to read out the lotto numbers. He feels like he's going to win it all. And then the power goes out. Oh. And then what breaks out in the before the power goes out, they put a warning on the TV that stay inside no matter what happens. But people don't stay outside, and then like a race war is breaking out and fires raining from the sky. And what's crazy is when George, okay, before we saw this movie, we talked about the ritual they did with George Floyd. And I was saying then, I was like, are they signaling that they're going to try to like really break out a race war in 2025? By the way, this movie's set in LA where the Rodney King riots happened. Mm-hmm. But again, if you go back and look at my work on George Floyd, the two numbers we were looking at were 225 and 93, and what they have to do with the Great Tribulation in the Bible, which is this apocalyptic time. Anyhow, this movie pays like they have this one scene where they just flash it real quick right in the background, the numbers 9 and 3. Again, I really need to go through all of this, explain it all to you. But again, I've been thinking that 2025, man. Years ago, the Deagle website showed that something wild was going to happen with the population around 2025. So yeah, they could have some major fireworks planned for that very year. You got the SPARS 2025 pandemic simulation for that
Right.
year.
Yeah.
The movie They Live, the alien race says they'll have full control over the world by 2025, and there's
Yep.
even more. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that death number, and these people, they're not nice. They're taking us somewhere pretty bad. It's not sunshine and rainbows like everybody thinks it is. It's going to get dark,
Yeah.
That's kind of the theme they've been pushing in the mainstream media, and they like to show things, before they actually do it. That's how they think they're karmically justified or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sick stuff, and I don't know if people are gonna wake up, but we got to keep trying. That's all we can do.
Indeed we do. Indeed we do. For people who forgot, if you want to go back and look at the George Floyd thing, George Floyd died on his 225th day of his age.
Well, didn't George Floyd die on the 25th too?
And he also died on the 25th of the month.
Yeah, come on, dude. Jeez.
But then the very next day, the Catholic Church of Minnesota, where he was killed in Minnesota, settled for sexual abuse of children for $22.5 million. And then a year later, Derek Chauvin got 22 and a half years in prison.
Right. Yep.
It's this 225 sequence. But remember, the day after the Catholic Church settlement for sexual abuse of children, the news media put out the story about George Floyd's second grade teacher who remembered what a sweet little boy he was. And do you remember that teacher's name?
What was it? Okay, it was something.
It was like a Bart Simpson joke where he used to call with the funny names. Waynell Sexton.
Yeah, Waynell Sexton. There you go.
Waynell Sexton, who remembered what a sweet little boy George Floyd was.
Yep.
Right after. I mean, that's why when you just pay attention, you just see the way we're being mocked. And again, you guys, they pulled George Floyd out of a Mercedes-Benz ML 320.
Yeah, and Police Cruiser 320.
And they killed him in front of Police Cruiser 320. Funny enough, Roman Catholic Church equals 320. And again, the Catholic Church has celebrated Jesus' birthday on 12/25 since 320 AD. And again, this stuff goes back. So,
right, yeah, it's sick, man, and it's only gonna get worse. People think that it's just a coincidence, and they just live their daily lives, and that's not what it is. That's not where we are.
Again, that's why I do this work, because I just the masses just go along with the screens, go along with the lies, don't question anything.
Nope.
Literally, people like ignorance isn't an excuse in the information age. Everyone who went in the Celtics game tonight, outside of little children who went there with their parents,
right?
All the adults are bad people. I'm sorry, if you're going to pro sports games at this day and age, you are a bad person. Your ignorance is not an excuse. It's so obvious these games are rigged, but it's also so obvious that people are being ritualistically murdered, unless you just think every single thing every day is a coincidence.
Well, Bill Walton was old, Zach. Don't you know he was old?
Yeah, he was old. 71. Not even that old at all.
No,
Drew Gordon, he was old. He was 33. Dead in the 33rd state. The dead football players over the weekend in Europe, a 54-year-old and a 26-year-old. I suppose they were old too.
They were, yep. Just unbelievable.
It is, man. The 18-year-old Olympian with all the numbers connected to the Celtics today. Yep. He was old. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of reminds of they got JJ Redick in the news right now, potentially becoming the Lakers coach. So,
and JJ Redick was just interviewing LeBron a little more than a month ago and asking him what's the secret to have such a long career. And LeBron said it not one time. He said it 2 times. He said, you got to sacrifice your loved ones.
And he said, you got to sacrifice them for a long period of time. And
yeah. And we've been talking about all the bodies next to LeBron James for a long time.
Always. Yep.
By the way, Jerry West just did die 201 days before LeBron's birthday. Probably not an accident.
Nope. But yeah, we'll see what they do with the Lakers. I think they could potentially tie the Celtics here, but we'll see what they do here.
Yeah.
With LeBron and everything. But
yeah,
I just wanted to come on and touch on that and just let everybody know that we're not being led to a good place. It's going to get dark, and it looks like it's going to get dark real fast,
Well, it's hard to say because sometimes these people move at a snail's pace. But yeah, the longer time goes on that people don't do anything about this cabal, I mean, they show you the way they work. They bring destructive, violent acts to catapult the next phase of their agenda, and their agenda is always about taking away people's rights and liberties and taxing them more and having more and more surveillance over their lives. And as time goes on, that this becomes more and more a reality. And again, it seems like the collective adult thinks that the only thing they have to do is go to school and
Go to work
be
and pay the
entertained,
bills.
and
Yeah.
it's not enough.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but
Indeed.
are you gonna be pounding pavement this summer? Are you gonna be headed out to LA or something like that, or what? You got any plans?
Well, I definitely am sad that I'm not pounding pavement more. But like I said, I mean, the every time I pound pavement, just financial support falls off in a big way. And I don't know if that's the powers that shouldn't be that are messing, but it just makes it hard around here to get Sweet Lady on board because she's like, she already thinks it's dangerous. And she says, see, Zach, every time you go out, you just lose a whole bunch more financial support. So how's this helping anything? I say, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, it is good to be out there. Every time we're out, though, communicating with the public and engaging with people and get people to stop and say, whoa, I never heard this. Thank you. I mean, that's powerful, and I do love doing that, and it'd be like to be a lot more. But again, I mean, they're just no financial supports really come through that. We've just been plateaued ever since we got cut in half after New York, and it only got worse after I went down to L.A. last spring. So
it's crazy. You think it would go up after that? You think people would be more willing to support, seeing that you're actually putting in the work and the effort, but
yeah,
guess not. Just it's unfortunate.
It is, but yeah, I'll continue. I have no plans of ever stopping, and if I can get these books I'm working on to finally reach some people, everybody who's aware that something's wrong in the world should be doing their piece in whatever way possible to just try to wake up at least one more person a day. I mean, again, if we don't wake up humanity, if we don't change the tide, we are getting taken to a really ugly place. And hopefully it's not as soon as 2025, but again, a lot of times their predictive programming ends up not being too far off, and they have put out a lot of clues for that year 2025 . So we'll see.
It is that death number, death 97 and 25, 97 and 25th prime. So, yep. And that's what they're all about is death.
They're a death cult for sure.
For sure. Well, I know it's getting late. You're probably trying to get off, so.
All right, man.
I'll hop
you have a
off
good night.
here. Yeah, you too, Zach. Thanks.
All right, take care. All right, we got another one in the wings. Dylan.
Hey man, can you hear me fine?
You're loud and clear.
All right. So you said you remember how you said First Take was making fun of you, right? So
hey, I don't unless I missed something about why they kept saying pounding pavement that day. It just felt really weird because I don't really know anyone in the world that uses that phrase, but I always explain like pounding pavement's the idea of being out on the streets.
No, for sure. For sure. But check this out. So the day right before Trump's birthday, that was the same day that they reversed the bump stock ban, right?
Okay.
So you know the show on Amazon, The Boys, right?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
They episode 2, season 4, they make fun of Gematria, like straight up just make fun of Gematria. They have this truth con. It's like a truth convention. And the lady starts off the presentation by saying, "Howdy, truth seekers. I kid you not, you have to see it yourself. Howdy, truth seekers."
Hold on. Season 2, episode 4?
Season 4, episode 2.
Season 4, episode 2. All right. If I turn on this episode, I don't have to watch a lot before they start making fun of it.
Around minute 20, they go to the truth con.
The truth con. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's called. The truth
Season 4, episode 2. Okay.
And also, they have this character called Mother's Milk, and he's African American, right? So they go to his house. When he opens the door, there's a number 42 right on the door. A few minutes before that. So yeah.
It's something else, man. And by the way, Jaylen Brown winning the Finals MVP. Today's 237 days after his birthday. Those are the prime factors of 42. Just the huge 42 connection to Black history in sports. Every Black quarterback to win the Super Bowl's had a big fat 42 connection. Of course, Jackie. But I don't think that's an accident with Jaylen Brown in the Finals MVP today.
And by the way, they mentioned the number 311 specifically. 311. And there's a girl there that's part of the group that sees like a kidnapping poster. What was that movie called that just came out last year with the dude that made the conspiracy theory movie, Mel Gibson? It was the kidnapping movie about some kids in South Africa getting kidnapped. I forgot exactly.
Oh, yeah,
what it
that
was.
came out on 4th of July. Everybody was talking about Sound of Freedom or something. I didn't
Sound
see
of
it.
Freedom. So they have something on the poster. It says something about freedom. And you know how I mentioned that she says 311. So the girl, she was actually like kidnapped. She writes bullshit on the poster, and you know bullshit equals 113, which is 311 backwards.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So yeah,
311 is
definitely.
also 201 in base 8 counting. Remember, you guys, the event 201 pandemic simulation, and then they declare the pandemic on 311. 201 becomes 311 in base 8 counting.
So yeah, definitely check. If nothing, just check that episode out. Around the 20-minute mark when they go to the Truth Con. But yeah, I saw that. I immediately knew I had to call you. So yeah.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna check it out. I appreciate the heads up.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate. Hey, man. By the way, with the support thing, I don't really place bets on the games. I'm still sub to the Patreon. I hope my little money helps you and helps the cause because I really
And
do
everybody who
trust
pledges
this.
$1 helps a ton. Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody who supports it. So thank you.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you, pushing out the truth every day. And congratulations on the child, by the way, having a girl. That's awesome, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, you have a good one, man.
All right. Yeah, take care. All right. We don't have anybody else in the room. The gas station attendant keeps coming in and out. And again, every time the gas station attendant comes in here, I feel bad for the guy because he's obviously lonely. But yeah, he's just incoherent. And it's just, yeah, it's like talking to a wall. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to call the work fraud every day when it adds up every day and we're proving in spades what's going on. Oh, he just hopped back in here. He thought that was the key to come in. All right, so here it cuts. I'll let you stay on for more than 10 seconds if you can answer the question. So, again, we've just nailed another sports future. Before the season began, we pointed out the only team that had a full name equaling 78 for the 78th NBA season was the Boston Celtics, most likely team to be in and win the finals. We explained why this was the year for them to win their 18th championship. And not only did all that happen, but the finals even started on their 78th birthday with the 78th game of the playoffs. I was about to pull him on, but he dropped off. I guess he realized he doesn't even want to try to answer that. But yeah, realize if you're going to go online and say that I'm a fraud, when again, what is the real truth of when you're calling somebody whose work is undeniable, probably the most truthful thing ever put on the web? When you're calling that a fraud, what does that make you? Doesn't that make you a fraud? If you're calling something that's true and authentic and real and helpful and useful and has the power to change the world and expose and stop really evil stuff, if you're calling that a fraud, what does that actually make you? Makes you a bad person. And again, I mean, I feel bad for you. From what you've done, you've had other people digging into who you are, and they found out that you have a restraining order from your family and that your father's a transgender in the Bay Area. I mean, I'm sure all that stuff is tough. But again, in a way, what you do kind of just only really makes me look more legitimate and better because people are going, well, why else would some schizophrenic weirdo be harassing you 24/7, 365 unless somebody put him up to it to try and, get under your skin or just slander the truth? A schizophrenic gas station attendant, again, who has serious family issues. I mean, like, who do you think you're persuading with false rants and rhetoric every day? I mean, come on, man. So, all right, but yeah, I think we got it all out there. If you guys got here late, definitely rewind. Oh, hold on, I'm going to give the gas station attendant one last shot. So again, the prediction comes through in spades. And again, how's it fraud? How's it fraud? Live from the gas station. Uh-oh, you stop. Not enough money for the cell phone bill? I see why he's dropping in and out. Didn't pay his cell phone bill. Hey, try out the Patreon. Get some extra money. Upgrade the cell phone. Get an actual connection. It's amazing what taking advantage of the rig system can do. So, all right, he's gonna try one more time. He thinks he paid. You got it? You got it? Payday's probably Friday. Call back in Friday. All right. Hold on. I got to look at something real quick because I didn't really watch the game tonight. I just wonder what kind of scoring rituals they had throughout the game. I got to take a look. I got to take a peek real quick. I got to see what they did. I saw the halftime score. Boston only scored 39 in the second half. Hold on. Let me just run through this real quick. Holiday had the first bucket. Holiday, who went to UCLA like Bill Walton. Remember how they sent Holiday to the Blazers for a second and the Blazers just got rid of him? Again, Bill Walton, who won the only championship for the Blazers. All this stuff ritualistic. Right after Bill Walton's dead, then Drew Gordon is dead at 33 in Oregon. All right. I'm sure it says Luka missed the shot. I'm sure he had a big carry before he shot up his brick. Holiday had the first two buckets, huh? Hold on. Scroll. 9'2", 9'4", basketball court, 94 feet long. Seeing if anything stands out about the scoring progression. Looks like Celtics got held up on 13 for a minute, the old Dallas number. End of the first quarter, 28-18, 46 points in the first quarter. Celtics 46 for that Joe Biden tribute. Joe Biden's Secret Service named Celtic. All right, so 46 points in the first quarter, 28-18. Let's see. I'm just seeing what jumps out in the scores. Looks like Celtics were stuck on 46 for a long minute, man. they put in the 46 points at 7-0. Oh, that's right. I saw that. I saw Jason Tatum score the 45th points while he stayed on 45 losses in the playoffs, which he picked up on Trump's birthday, number 45. Okay, so Tatum got those 46 points. They were stuck on 46 for several possessions there, back and forth. You'll when you pay attention to the numbers, you start to see a long times when a team gets on a drought and just can't get off a number, you'll be laughing your ass off. If you know Gematria, you'll be like, I know why they're stuck on that number tonight. I know why they just can't get off that number. They do it in football. They do it in basketball. They do it in all the sports. They had the score 44-64 at one point, huh? Very interesting number. Those are deadly numbers. Again, 46-67 at halftime, while Larry Bird's 67. Again, 113 points. 617's the 113th prime. The NBA's the 113 league. Boston's the 617 area code. Celtics hit the Holiday got the 78th points tonight again. 78, huge number, 78th NBA season. That put them up 26. Celtics 26, Boston Celtics 78. 78-52. Then they got stuck on 78 for a good minute. Josh Green made it 59-78 before they finally scored again. Remember, Joe Biden took office at 78. Joe Celtic Biden, after winning the 59th election. John F. Kennedy equals 59. Kennedy 78. JFK dead at 46. Joe Biden number 46. They did that with 5:55 left, huh? Okay. Tatum put in the 82nd points tonight. Again, it was the 82nd game of the playoffs. Boston Celtics 156. The game 156 days before Biden's 82nd birthday. Game equals 82, like 82 games in an NBA and NHL season. Jaylen Brown got old 86 tonight. Again, in 86, the first year they used the finals, the year they did Len Bias dirty, the Celtics beat the other Texas team, Houston. It was 86-67 at the end of the third quarter. Remember, we just talked about how those numbers came together in Jerry West's death at 86. 86-67. Those are the blood sacrifice numbers. That was at the end of quarter 3. What day did Jerry West die? Right before game 3, right? So at the end of the third quarter, it's those same numbers, the blood sacrifice numbers, same numbers we talked about with Jerry West passing. And Celtics did have 67 at the half. Today's date numerology, 67. Looks like nobody could score. Wow, look at that. It stayed on 67-86 almost for 3 full minutes. They just couldn't get off the score of death after all these deaths in the time of finals. Again, those numbers come together all the time in suspicious deaths, 67 and 86, because both blood sacrifice and human sacrifice equals 67 forwards, 86 in reverse. Porzingis, the guy who missed 38 games, was the guy who finally took it off him. Tatum put him up 22, 78, 100. Hold on, I want to check something about Tatum real quick, because I know he came into the finals with exactly 2,600 points in the playoffs. So he had 2,600. I want to see what he's up to now. I want to see how many points he scored in the playoffs. Jason Tatum, NBA playoff scoring total. Let me see if that's the right sentence to get what I'm looking for. Oops, I spelled playoff wrong, so that's why it's messed up. Wow, so he scored exactly 111 points in the finals. The NBA Finals equals 111. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 111. That's the Pope. The other year when the Celtics lost to the Warriors, that 111 number was huge with that. But he scored 111 points in the finals. Fitting. All right. $88-106. It sat on that score for the final minute. Okay. The last bucket of the game was an 18-foot step back jump shot to put the Celtics up 18 where it stayed. Jaden Hardy, huh? Because I don't watch the basketball like that. I don't even know who these guys are that are younger in the league. If your name's not LeBron, there's a high chance I don't know because I don't want to watch. Jaden Hardy, 17 days before his birthday, span of 18 days. Interesting. He's got that 5-7 birthday, NBA Finals 57. Celtics stayed on 57 losses in the finals all time. Their new finals record, 83-57. The half-court shot was straight Globetrotters. That's that technology in action. 67 points to go with Larry Bird being... That's how Larry Bird used to just knock them down from deep. He didn't even want the three-point line. He said, put the rim at 12 feet. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. It's getting late, True Seeker. Get some rest. We'll be back tomorrow. Hey, if you want to join us on Patreon, again, learn the knowledge, cash giveaways. We're doing weekly contests. We're trying to get some daily contests. More support, more money for the pot, for more weekly give outs. And again, the idea that we're trying to do right now is we're trying to get people to step their decoding game up, find out who the best decoders are out there, and see what people are doing that's giving people the highest percentage chance to win, taking advantage of rigged sports at this day and age where the knowledge has gotten out, and it is a lot more challenging to win than it was a handful of years ago. You know, like I said, it used to be not that hard to get a 16 parlay. These days, it's pretty damn hard to get a 16 parlay because a lot of good games that they'll pull the rug out. So it's definitely an age where you got to be a lot more conservative. But, you know, in this 4 weeks so far doing the competitive game where we give the cash giveaways on Patreon, a gentleman from the 646 area code of New York, he's showing people how it's done. Just one smart pick a day, not being too fancy, not being too aggressive, just hitting a nice shot every day. And he's won our competition the last 3 weeks. So, again, shout out to the 646 area code. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, golf, all of it, man. We taking advantage of all these things. We smashed the Masters again this year. Sports are rigged, man. It's undeniable. So if you're denying it, you're in denial. Okay. All right, we'll leave it there. Till next time, I'm True Seeker. Thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Till next time.